I don't know if Bo is there, but his mic is muted. But in the meantime, let me introduce this man real quick.
Yep, I'm here, Mojo.
Yo, there's that sexy voice, dude.
How's it going, man?
Good. Listen. So I'm trying to think of how to introduce you. All right. So I consider you one of my last remaining friends in this game that I knew from beta. Okay. So one of my old friends. Definitely one of my old friends. A stand-up dude. If you give somebody your word, then you actually mean it, and that's very rare in a game like Albion, in an online game, where the norm is to have no accountability behind your words, right? Because it's so easy to get away with pretty much anything in a game like this. It's a ruthless game, but your word actually means something in this community. Pretty much everybody trusts you. You built a solid name for yourself, good reputation. And there's very few people like that in a game like this. So that's how I would describe you. You're a community streamer. That's also how I would describe you, because you're really about bringing the community together, teaching the community. So yeah, just an overall good dude. You can, which you surprised me the first time I heard you rap. You can actually rap. You look like Jack Black. Did anybody ever tell you that?
Talented man.
Not many people know, how I look, because I don't really stream like that anymore. But yeah, no, people have told me that. That and Vince Vaughn, actually.
Oh, I can see how you look like a mix of both.
Yeah.
You look like a mix between Jack Black and Vince Vaughn. So if you don't know what Boa looks like, that's what he looks like. But yeah, I know you for a long time. Good dude. Thank you so much for taking your time and even jumping on here with us, bro, because you could be making money, you could be doing a bunch of other stuff. So I gotta give you a round of applause, my brother.
Yo, thanks, man. And honestly, I do apologize for the last reschedule. It was just the first month of the drops was just crazy, so I had to focus on that. But I obviously, dude, I've wanted to come on the show for a while, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. I mean, dude, and we'll get into it. Like the drops, listen, out of all the people that, first of all, there was a lot of people that I think when the drops came out, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of shit streamers that really popped off with these drops. But on the other hand, there's some people that grinded for such a long time, and when the drops came out, I was super happy for those people. And I would say you're probably the person that I was the happiest about, because I know you the longest. Out of all the streamers, I know you the longest.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was also happy for people like Flaccid, people like Nomad Pancho. I was happy for, like all the people that grinded for so long. This, to me, in my eyes, was you guys' reward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for me, I'm really just happy that the whole category has retained this really high viewership in general. Because for Albion, it's honestly one of the best things. But I'm also more realistic about this too. Like the drops are amazing, and I hope they stay, and I hope it continues to be this good, because I think among the biggest population of people that are watching are actual people who play the game, who never used to watch Twitch before. So even if they shut off the drops tomorrow, I think the category would retain a very large amount of players. Not like 10 to 20, but I think the new normal could be around 5K.
Which is good, which is still decent. Way better than before.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Those drops, the first 2 weeks when they cycled off after like Friday, Saturday, there was actually absolutely like the community was dead. They're retaining people, true, but I don't think that most of the population is engaging with these guys, because most of them, I'm gonna be honest, are boring, right? So you sit here and you're forced to watch somebody for 3 or 4 days, and it drones away at you, so you're constantly clicking through each one of these because you get drops no matter what. And it's completely like, I feel it's gonna have the opposite effect in the long run. Once there's no new drops for anybody, I think it's gonna drop off significantly.
It might, but they also have like a lot of levers too. Like, you know, the first week was double drops, then it went down to singles, so they could always like increase the levers to get more people to come back. They could, you know, make sure they have the frequency of newer drops to come. But I do get your point that the campaign itself is good for the category, but it does feel like there are lopsided gains because just a lot of AFK viewers, you know.
Right.
So that's the thing. But what I hope though is that everyone who has been grinding just continues to apply to become a streamer. Like I kind of want to share my story regarding when I got partner. Like it was 6 years, and then I got partnered this year. But I got denied like 15 times, and I hope this doesn't happen to a lot of the streamers who have, you know, really high numbers. But like, Twitch doesn't want to just partner 15 like Albion streamers right away, right? Like they want there's only like a couple they could do at a time. Otherwise, there's too many partners in the category. I feel like that's how this works. Yeah. And so even though these people are going to have huge numbers well past the requirements, they might still get denial letters. So I hope they don't like get discouraged, because that happened to me when Albion launched. When Albion launched, I was the largest streamer. Like I had 1,000 on average for a whole month, and I still didn't get partnered after that. So just, you know, I just want to share some advice for the fellow streaming community. Like, don't get discouraged, keep going. This is long-term growth you're looking for.
Damn, you grinded, bro. See, this is a difference I always make, right? When I stream, right? By the way, what's up, Jason? How you doing, my brother?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I'm glad you're here, bro. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Jason? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, rough night last night, so I'm on the struggle bus. But hi. Just out of respect for BlackBoa, I want to point out that Seed and I have been proving for years that numbers don't matter.
Yeah.
There you go.
God bless Arch. But you guys are doing a necessary job, man. We all appreciate it.
Thanks.
But when it comes to the streaming stuff, right? I stream, but I always make I always say there's a difference. For example, I stream, but I'm not a professional streamer, you know? Like, when I'm talking about real streamers, I'm talking about people like you. I'm talking people like Nomad Poncho, Flaccid Baron, people like that wake up every day and just grind every day and really, really stream. Whereas me, I turn on the stream 2 times a week and talk some shit and try to give a different type of content. But I'm not like a professional streamer. I don't consider myself like a real streamer. So my point is, when I got partnered, bro, on like my first month of streaming. When the Albion category was pretty dead, I was getting a lot of viewers on Albion, and on my first try, I got partnered, you know, and like I really didn't even care.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was a little salty, dude. I was a little salty. I was like, that guy who streams for 1 month and gets partnered. I've been streaming for 6 fucking years. No. I was happy for you, but I do. It at that time,
it's unfair. I know.
I wasn't
it's unfair.
partnered. Every time I saw so many people getting partnered, I was like, "Fuck, man, why not fucking me?" You know, I was like, "No."
Yeah, bro, that's kind of fucked up that you got overlooked for such a long time, because
it was bad, dude.
Damn, bro, because for me it wasn't even a big deal. Somebody messaged me, they said, listen, you should just apply for partner. What do you have to lose? I applied for partner, boom, I got it. I'm like, okay. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't know what partner does. So
the guy just said he was salty. You're rubbing it in really fucking hard, man. That's all I'm saying.
I still don't know what partner does.
Oh yeah, sorry. I mean, there isn't much of a difference, but I mean, there is some differences. And for me personally, if you want to know what the most important thing for me was, I didn't care if it meant more money or whatever. Like, I've been trying for so fucking long to get it. I needed that to just feel good about myself, like, period. Like, I needed the blue check mark, you know what I mean? Like, putting so much of your life into something and not getting like that goal achieved, like, I needed to stick with it. And when it happened, like, you know, I don't know if you cried, Mojo, probably not, but I cried. Like, it was meaningful for me when I got partner, you know what I mean?
Did you actually cry, or you just exaggerating?
Yeah, I cried.
Yo, shout out to you, man. I respect the honesty, bro.
Yeah, it was really important to me. So
I mean, you actually, that's the thing about getting stuff for free, right? And getting stuff like when you kind of don't deserve it. So I got partner, I kind of don't deserve it, I'm not gonna lie, because like you said, you were grinding for 6 years and then you finally got it. Whereas
I was
for me,
also on Wi-Fi internet for five of those 6 years, so I think there's a correlation. I just recently put Ethernet on my stream.
how did that happen? Did you just discover Ethernet, bro?
No, I have some fucking issues. That's all. I'm procrastinate overly, procrastinate on things.
Can we take a look at this lag fest on the video here, man?
Yeah,
This is old school Albion.
Boa, I was playing on the stream right now. I'm playing the Filthy Casuals, the few videos that are still out there. If you guys don't know what Filthy Casuals is, it's the guild. You guys know how Boa has hydration check now. Well, back in the day, he used to have also like a streamer community guild, which was called the Filthy Casuals. And believe it or not, a bunch of my good players came from this guild right here. We're definitely gonna get into it. We're gonna go through the whole storyline one thing at a time. But yeah, people were asking, why is the screen lagging? You know, why is the fight lagging? This is how the ZVZ used to be, boys. This is how ZVZ used to be.
That's Funzy, yo. You want to know a crazy coincidence? I was literally doing Crystal Arenas with Funzy today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Funzy's back playing the game.
Oh shit. That's
He's
awesome.
another old school beta dude, if you remember.
Yeah.
Mojo, you remember when you would
up?
just cast glacial staffs out and just hope for the best because of the lag fest, man?
Yeah, I mean, look at all these frost staffs on your screen. You know, that's exactly what these people are doing. That's what these people are trying to do. But yeah, I was just answering the question that to go back to what you were saying, Bo, when you cried, right? I was saying that's the thing about actually working for your goals and stuff like that. Like, if you get stuff for free, that shit doesn't feel valuable at all. You know? So, well, what is this? Why you laughing? He's like, I love free shit. What are you talking about?
I mean, everyone loves free shit.
In
Let's
the
be
back.
honest.
Yeah, but like if you give me like $1 billion right now, I'm probably gonna go out and spend it like a retard. I'm not gonna lie, because I skipped that means I would skip the whole journey to go get that money and become just a better person, you know, and learn everything around it and stuff like that. So the fact that you grinded for so long and you finally got it, I completely understand why you would break down and cry in that situation.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was something. I mean, I literally was thinking that if I just quit, it would have been a wasted period of time. And I mean, I guess no matter what you do, we're all wasting time in the end. But you know what I mean. It would have been a waste to do this if I didn't hit that mark for me, basically.
Did you ever think about quitting?
Well, yeah, I mean, a few times, because of like things that would happen IRL that would make me stop streaming like for months. Like I wasn't always streaming every day like you see now. Like currently we're on a 365-day streaming challenge. We've streamed already 266 days in a row.
Holy shit, bro.
We've been consistent as fuck for that many days now, you know?
The fuck?
Yo,
Yeah.
round of applause. Shout out to BlackBoa, bro.
Hell yeah.
I
Yeah,
wish I
so
could
like
stick to a diet that long, bro. Like, what the fuck?
no, it's a commitment for sure. Not without its drawbacks, but like, you know, but there were a few periods of time where, like, you know, when my father passed away in 2018, like I couldn't stream for a few months. Like mentally I wasn't ready, but also just I needed to help my mom out at the family restaurant and stuff like that. So until we got things settled there, then I came back to it again. But you know, definitely thought about quitting, but for whatever reason, this is like the longest semi-career path. I mean, you know, people say W Omega lol work or whatever the fuck they say like about streaming, but this is the longest like potential career path that I've had in my life. Like every other job 2 to 3 years tops, and now we're going on 7 years now. So
They say do something you love. You know, do
Yeah,
it
man.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like you really like it, man. You know.
I do, I really do.
I'm glad it worked out, bro. Sorry to hear about your father and stuff.
Oh,
like
there
that.
I am, dude. BlackBoa, the mace user.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah, it is. It is. Wait,
Oh shit, I'm actually there.
bro. Right
Good
next
shit.
to Fluffer Pope and Beho.
Yo, oh my god, these names are fucking amazing. Bob the Yak, yeah, I remember these guys.
Looks like you're wearing a solid flat 6 set too, man.
Yeah. I still use that's the Morning Star, I think, but it was called. Or actually, yeah, am I? Yeah, Fluffer's got the Morning Star, I think. Yeah.
No, he's at the Camland, I think.
Camland wasn't around back then.
Free Camland.
Yeah, this is before Relics. This is before Relics.
That's the Camland skin. Am I tripping?
Oh, no,
That's
you're
probably
right,
that's
man.
probably the
It
Morning
does look
Star.
like it.
That's probably a Morning
That is
Star.
the Morning Star, 100%.
It's the old Morning Star from way back,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they changed the
Yeah.
look. Someone said,
Yo.
shout out to Greg. He said, been following Boa for 5 years. It's been a roller coaster. Glad he's doing well now. Shout out to Greg, bro.
Yo, Greg, thanks, brother.
5 years.
5 years, bro. So let me ask you, bro. And now I know why you took a break back in the day. So yeah, that's crazy. How did you? Would you say you're the most consistent streamer for Albion, like period?
Well, I mean, excluding like, well, no, because even when I took a break from Albion, like it wasn't necessarily to stop streaming. Like I actually played other games, so I don't know if I have the all-time record for days.
You have
like
to.
different types of days streamed of Albion. I would say maybe there. Definitely not longest watch hours, because some of these, like obviously since drops, the watch times have just been crazily, blown out of the water. But like maybe for the number of days streamed of this game, I would probably say I'm in the top 3 probably.
Who would you say is right up there with you? Who would you say the other most consistent streamers are?
Lupac would probably be pretty high up there, even though he wasn't streaming in the early betas and stuff. Like for a long time there, he was like basically like every day,
Lupac all time, right? You're talking all time?
All time, yeah. And then I'm trying to think of who else was perhaps back in those days who was streaming a ton.
That's a good question. Fuck. There really wasn't many streamers, bro, at all.
Yeah, and those who were here, like obviously Fuss was around for a while. Fuss was an awesome streamer, like one of the most legendary like Warbow users ever. Jonah is back to Albion. I'm sure you guys saw that, Jonah Vale. But Jonah in the early days was very consistent, but he definitely left for far too long to be in the top 10 probably. Or he might still
We'll
be in
rage quit again in another week. Don't worry, bro.
Maybe, but honestly, like Jonah is like, I was in his guild before I created the Filthy Casuals, and like the Bunch of Monkeys was like among the funnest times I ever had in Albion as well. Like it wasn't my first guild. My first guild in Beta 1 was Jackal. Do you remember Jackal?
Yeah.
KingMoJo?
I kinda, bro. It throws me off.
Maybe you remember like Grimfest or
yeah,
QBQ.
Yeah. I remember the names. I just don't remember
Yeah.
anything about them. That's it.
Yeah. But like the one thing I just want to say about Jonah is whenever he goes to a game, he brings a shit ton of people with him, and I don't care how long he's here. I'm just happy he's here because he's gonna just bring a very competitive and fun community with him, whatever game he goes to. So I hope he stays for a while. If he gets drops, then like clearly like everyone's gonna be raiding the hell out of him, So he's gonna be here for a while, so long as the raids come and stuff.
You talking about Jonah? You said Jonah?
Yeah, Jonah. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Jonahville,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he deserves it, bro. He deserves 100% to get in the partner program. No doubt
I love
about
Jonah.
it.
I was just kidding around, man. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah. Oh no, sorry. Yeah.
Like, bro, Boa, it throws me off every time you call me KingMoJo. That shit throws me off, bro.
Oh wait, do I need to call you Prince Mojo? Do you want me to do that instead?
No, bro. If you know me since what, Beta 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, just call me Mojo. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. My bad. I literally just like read off your name in Discord, dude. That's all.
Bro.
No, just joking.
Bro.
Yeah, that's fine. Mojo.
Dude, I know this motherfucker for 5 years. This dude keeps calling me KingMoJo, and he puts extra emphasis on King. I'm like, bro, I feel fucking awkward. I feel awkward whenever he says that shit, bro. God damn.
You named yourself, man.
That shit is awkward.
All
But
right, Mojo, that's fine. I'll stop. Then if it makes you feel awkward, I'll stop.
but I thought you were trolling me for the longest time.
No,
I thought you were used
dude,
to troll me for calling me that, bro.
I didn't, dude. I literally, that's your name. I'm calling you your name. I mean, I don't know. I'll just call you Mojo, though. That's fine. We never had this conversation. You never asked me to call you Mojo, so how the hell am I supposed to know?
I mean, you can call me whatever you want, bro. You can call me whatever you want. Listen, take me back because so you sound like just an overall nice dude, right? When you're streaming, but then you go into a rap battle fucking setting. You start rapping, or you start singing some old tunes like some Frank Sinatra shit. So you just seem like a cultured dude, right? So let's say we went to high school together. Who's BlackBoa if we went to high school together?
Who's BlackBoa if you went to high school together? Prom King.
Really?
Yeah, I got Prom King in high school. I was literally very similar to how I am now, like friends with every clique you can imagine. I was never toxic to anybody. I didn't have many enemies. I was just like super friendly. Like I would actually stand up for kids who were getting picked on and shit, and then I would get picked on, and then I would end up crying. I cried a little bit in high school too. Like, you know, I was a lot more sensitive than I am now. But because I would do those types of things, like literally everyone just voted me Prom King because they all I got the most friendliest superlative. I also got the most gullible superlative. You know, those two things kind of came hand in hand because I trusted everybody and treated them like with respect until they proved otherwise. You know?
Listen. English is not my first language, so please tell me what the hell is a superlative?
Okay, so superlative. A superlative is like when they vote somebody in your class, like a certain thing, like they might have the class clown, you know, is this guy, or most likely to succeed, you know, things like that. So for me, they voted me most friendliest and most gullible. And then I ended up also winning Prom King that year.
Okay, so
I just want to point out that most friendliest is also something that is not grammatically correct.
Most friendly?
Most friendly. I knew that.
Sorry.
By the way, half of chat just Googled superlative when you said it. I just want to throw that out there.
So most gullible. So that means you give everybody like the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Is that right?
I do, but it also gets me in trouble because again, like I believe shit that I shouldn't believe, like, or at least back then I did. Like, if you're most gullible, it's like, you know, I can't think of an example right now, but basically you believe anything people say, so like people can take advantage of that. You know what I mean? That type of deal. Gotcha. So although like it wasn't the most positive thing to win, but I mean I got that too. So, but it kind of goes hand in hand. Because, you know, they thought I was friendly because I like literally like did not prejudge them based on what everyone else was saying to them. You know, like I had my own opinion on people.
Yeah. Did you ever? I mean, being friendly and gullible. I mean, that's a good thing and bad thing, no? Because it's like motherfuckers just be stabbing you in the back, the back. Did that ever happen to you or no?
Oh yeah, I mean that's why like in my current guild that I'm in, like I only have myself and one other trusted person who's also my mod to ever have any kind of like secure perms in Albion. Like because of the backstabbing, I've actually closed off like a lot, like a real lot, and it's actually probably too much. But you know, because of that you have to kind of, you know, go the opposite way. You have to assume the worst sometimes. So. And by the way, Albion didn't do that to me. Like, it's also life in general, you know, like as you grow up, you realize things aren't as like la-di-da or nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely been through some shit. You took a couple breaks off of Albion and stuff like that. And I remember, and I don't know if you want to get into it later, because I'm trying to go through your history first and then into, you know, trying to follow the timeline. But I know at one point I remember you took a break and I asked Boldy, I'm like, yo bro, any word from Boa? I missed that motherfucker. And then he's like, he said shit was going bad with the pandemic and stuff like that. So you definitely been through some challenges and you talked about your dad and stuff like that. So you're definitely not somebody that got to where you are just by being a gullible dude all the time. You know what I mean? Or like an innocent dude all the time. You definitely have life experience, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's why you change. But like, you know, again, when you're kind of wired to trust from the start, you have to kind of like, it takes work to adjust. In other words, you can't just be as nice as you'd like to be.
Yeah.
You know,
the internet really isn't the place for nice guys, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm surviving here though.
No, you're doing fine, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't trust random folks on the internet. Like, hey, bro, here's my account. You know what I mean?
You should never, ever. I mean, as much as I love the people that I've met throughout the years, like Mojo, like I love you, dude, but like I don't know you in person. Like I wouldn't trust you with like nothing. You understand? Just because I don't know you in person, but like we can have these kind of altercations and like, or not altercations, these kind of interviews and situations, and like we'd be totally cool. But you know, in real life, you wouldn't trust somebody you only know online. At least I wouldn't personally.
100%.
Yeah. Till I could look at them in the eye, you know what I mean? Then maybe I'll make a judgment call.
Give me an example of what you would trust me with and what you wouldn't trust me with.
Give you an example of what I would trust you with and what I wouldn't trust you with.
like let's say we were like, would you go out for a beer with me?
Here's a good example.
Would you go out to a restaurant with me?
Yo, listen. I trusted you with my Twitch audience. You understand? Like that's kind of a big trust thing when you host somebody. Like I don't take that lightly, right? Like I host people that I hope would be good hosts to my people because I care for them. So yeah, that's kind of a pretty big thing right there. What was your question? Like the restaurant thing?
Yeah. Would you go to a restaurant with me?
Oh yeah, I'd go to a restaurant with you, probably.
Okay, so I mean that's a reasonable amount of trust. Like, what if I was like, let's say, because I live in Italy, right? So let's say you visited Italy.
Are you Italian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually. I always thought you were Russian for some reason.
What the fuck?
No, I really did. I always thought you were Russian. You were in like Red Army and shit. I'm like, you had an accent. I'm like, okay, maybe he's a Russian.
He's literally America.
Oh my god. No,
I literally always thought you were Russian, dude. I'm not even fucking joking, man.
No. I'm my dad's Italian, my mom is Persian. So I'm half Middle Eastern, half Italian.
There you go.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Yeah. So but I understand why you think I'm Russian, because it's probably because like you said, Red Army, huh? So that we didn't have many English speakers in that guild. Yeah, Shiro was my first real guild master in this game, and I just like playing with him. Even though most of his players in that guild did not speak English, I still enjoyed playing with the Russians and stuff like that. But yeah, you're actually not the only person that thought I was Russian, so it's okay. But yeah, what about this? What if you were in Italy, right? And I was like, yo, come over to my house. Would you come over?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I'd probably want to meet in a public space first before like coming over to like your personal residence, you know? Yeah. I like foreplay before we fuck, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? What the fuck? This moment's crazy.
Invited, by the way, you're invited. That invitation's been withdrawn.
Invitation withdrawn immediately.
Yeah. What if you came over to my house, bro, and I was like, and you just saw like a basement door, and that shit just had like 20 locks on that shit, bro? Would you think I was a serial killer?
And 20 locks on your door? Yeah. I'd turn around. I wouldn't knock on the door.
What if my sister was there and she'd been drinking tequila?
I haven't seen a picture of your sister.
It's all over the internet.
Yeah, Jason's from the South, bro. He has something about his sister. He loves that type of shit, bro. Boa, where are you from in the States? Can I ask that question? I don't know how private you keep it.
Yeah, Connecticut. Yeah, it's CT USA.
Cool. Oh, okay. So you're East Coast. Is that East Coast?
East Coast. Yeah, it's right between basically Boston and New York, or Massachusetts and New York.
Yeah. I remember Connecticut because all those shows like Jerry Springer show and the Maury Povich show, it was always in Connecticut. I don't know why.
I don't know why. Either.
Craziest
That's
state
where
in the
the studio
United
is.
States is Florida, hands down. Hands down, Florida's the craziest.
I don't know. I'd say Louisiana, low key.
All right,
Yeah.
that's close.
But I'm not gonna lie, in Florida, I remember it was like, what year was it when everybody was hopping on bath salts and eating each other's faces off? You guys remember that shit?
Yeah, of course.
It was like 2012 or
It was
something.
comedy, bro. Everybody was doing bath salts.
Bro, I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, yo, Florida's
They were selling
crazy.
them in 7-Elevens, bro. They
Yes.
were selling fucking bath salts in 7-Elevens like they were Skittles.
K2
Crazy
is bath salts,
motherfuckers.
pretty much, right? Like, it's crazy.
Then you had that guy that tried to rob the Wendy's with a fucking baby alligator. I'm just gonna bring that shit up again.
Wait, what? I remember
never
you
heard
said
this
something
story?
about that. I remember. Tell me a story.
This guy rolled up to a Wendy's. He took the time to go down to the river and find a fucking baby alligator, take it into his car. Then he rolled up to the Wendy's and was like, "Yo, empty your fucking register, or I'm gonna throw this baby alligator through the window."
Oh my god.
And they caught him a couple miles down the road after robbing the fucking Wendy's.
That's
They
funny,
charged
bro.
him with fucking animal endangerment.
That's funny,
Why?
bro.
Why didn't they just close the window?
Well, that's a high IQ move there, Seed.
That's
No thanks,
crazy.
goodbye.
But that kind of makes me think, bro. If we just unleashed all these Albion players on the real life, bro, the world would just go into chaos. People would be doing shit like that, bro. When I think about Albion
Right,
players,
if we ever have like a civil war or something, I'm gonna mass all of the Albion people.
Oh, yeah.
And they to come fight. Don't worry.
yeah, if you guys unleashed Arch on the real world, oh my god, bro.
Doing a public service by keeping these kids indoors. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, man. Here, Boa. So you talked to us a little bit about high school. What about like high school between that time and between now? Like, were you always playing games? Were you always on the computer? I know a lot of people from Albion come from Ultima Online, like Jason does, or other games like that. Where do you come from, bro?
Got you. Yeah. So actually, Ultima Online was also my first game, but it wasn't like it. It was my first game, and it was my favorite game until Albion came along. But I don't have a lot of memories of actual like interacting with a lot of people on it. I was more of like a solo player in that game, like kind of how I also am a little bit today. I mean, I've had stints of guild management and stuff, but back in Ultima days, like I was more solo oriented. So I have good memories there. But I actually graduated from college, Mojo. There was a very long period of time, like from basically once I graduated high school, I stopped gaming completely for about, I would say like 10 to 13 years with intermittent gaming in between. Like sometimes I would game and then like it would interfere with my real life too much, so I would just stop. And so when I graduated the University of Connecticut, go Huskies if anybody's listening, I started working in the accounting field. I graduated with an accounting degree, and my first job was Deloitte & Touche. If any of you guys are in the financial industry, you know that Deloitte & Touche, back then it was the big four accounting firms. They were the fourth largest accounting firm in the world. So like think of like a top law firm and all the lawyers trying to go there. Like this was like a top accounting firm and all the accountants wanted to go here. So
Sounds like a party.
So you worked there?
dude, it was fucking miserable. But yeah, I worked there for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that a good job? Would you consider that a good job?
I mean, the job was amazing. Like, so back in 2006 is when I graduated. I'm 38 years old, turning 39 on July 25th. And basically, oh wait, where was I going with that?
You were talking about if it was a good job or not.
Yeah, and so back in 2006, as a newly graduated college grad, that job paid $55,000 in 2006. So
as an entry job on the entry
level after graduating. So it was like
crazy.
For me, I was like, I'm a single guy. Like, holy fuck! Like,
you're
that's
like, I'm
a
rich.
lot of fucking money.
I'm rich.
Yeah, I felt really fucking good, dude. I felt really good until I actually started working as an accountant, and then I started getting depressed slowly. That shit was that like I mean, don't get me wrong. Amazing career. If you are in college right now and you don't know what you want to do, but you want to make some money and have a stable, safe, and secure life, go the accounting route, because everyone needs fucking accountants. But you have to have a personality that can deal with doing something very similar day in and day out, and just be okay with that. Like, yes, there's promotions. Yes, you can, do different types of accounting projects, but like, for me as an individual, it's always been so difficult to remain stagnant in what I've been doing, like in terms of jobs. Like, so I left accounting after I went to a smaller firm, and I went into real estate full time. Zero financial backing, zero kind of like steady income. I literally went into real estate. And you want to know the first gig I got? I saw that this developer just purchased a 48-unit complex in one of the most poor and poverty-stricken areas in Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. And I moved in, and I literally filled the whole fucking apartment up. I literally filled every apartment up. But my God, like, when I think I told my chat a couple of these stories. Let me tell you, like, the conditions that this place was in.
I mean, it's Hartford, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you like, literally, like, so they were telling me, the maintenance guys were telling me, like, they went to, like, go just collect rent from this one tenant. So they go over there, and they knock on the door, and, like, you know how when you drop a rock in a puddle of water, it, like, kind of expands outward, the waves? Well, as soon as they knocked on the door, a fucking wave of cockroaches, like, literally, like, were scattering across the door.
That's disgusting.
It's fucking nasty. Like this place smelled like piss. Like, the stairs smelled like piss. There was, like, shit. There was a young lady offering her services for $1 per visitor. Like, this is like the...
Wait, I think my sister lived in Hartford. It might have been her, you motherfucker.
Like, dude, consider, like, the worst possible living conditions you can imagine. And I literally went from, like, a safe, secure job in the accounting firm to living in a place where there was, like, 10 murders that year on that street. I was the only white guy for miles. Like, it was like crazy, actually. Like, looking back on it, I was like, wow, like, how did I fucking survive that shit?
Well, they probably thought you were Jack Black. They were like, yo, this motherfucker's a celebrity, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. And honestly, if I had to say, like, how I survived, I literally just treat people with respect. That's all. Didn't care if they were cracked out. Didn't care about, like, anything except, treating them with dignity if they were looking for a house, And I had to deny people who were scary looking people, right? But, like, when you treat people with respect and you don't, like, try to get yourself into trouble, like, you can survive even in the roughest areas in the U.S.
And like you said, you're probably very honest too, so people respect honesty over everything, I think.
Right.
First of all, the cockroaches stuff, bro. That shit, dude, I hate cockroaches, bro.
I hate cockroaches too, bro.
And luckily here we don't really have many of them.
They don't taste too bad. What do you mean?
Luckily here we don't have a lot of them. I remember, dude, this was disgusting. I remember I spent a couple years in Israel, right, with my dad, and because he was working there, and basically there was flying cockroaches there. So, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I'll let this shit pass. But there was flying cockroaches. So sometimes if you would open up your windows and shit, because it's hot as a motherfucker, it's the desert there, right? So if you would open up your windows, sometimes you would just get a flying cockroach just pop over from the window and stuff like that.
Bro, camel spiders.
What the hell is a camel spider?
Google it.
Is it safe to Google on stream?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Camel spiders
Camel?
are literally the oof, yo.
What the fuck is this, bro?
Yeah.
That's an alien baby. You know, shit, the break out of people in Alien.
Is that the actual?
Camel
Face
spiders
hugger,
jump,
that's what they're
too.
called.
Is that the size of it? Like the actual
Yes,
size
bro,
of it?
it's
Yep.
huge. Look at it, like you see, yeah, you see.
Oh god, that looks fucking scary, dude.
They're all over the Middle East, bro. They
Pardon them
hide. Yeah.
all.
And
If I saw that shit crawling on me, I'd be like, ah.
Are you scared of insects or what are you scared of? What are you scared of, bro?
So I mean, obviously, like it would startle the shit out of me, and I'd be like, oh, whoa, 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 you know, like you know, you would get fucking startled or whatever, like grossed out. But I would just kill it afterwards. I usually don't like. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a bad thing about me. Like some people let insects out to like live their lives if they're in the house. Like if I
Fuck
see an
that,
insect,
bro.
I'm killing that dude. Yeah, I'm straight up killing it. It's in some cases with like house flies, which I hate those fuckers. Like I trap them in a glass and shake it for a little bit first. And then I move on. Those fuckers deserve it though, bro. They're fucked up.
Bro, it's always, especially women, bro. It's like you're about to smash a spider. They're like, no, don't do it. Let that shit
exactly.
outside. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have no sympathy for insects, unfortunately.
And that's it. Are you scared of anything else?
What am I scared of? I mean, not like scared as in like, you know, that would scare me, but just like fear of your family, you know, fear that something would happen to your family. I'm scared that something would happen to my family all the time. Like there's no reason for it, but like because my father passed and stuff, like I have that just, you know, I worry about my mom a lot, so you know, that's the fear, I would say. Yeah. Fear of death. Actually, yeah, fear of death. But not my own, more so other people's. I'm not really worried about me dying, but I'm worried about other people dying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, where do you get your singing and rapping background from? Because, like, for example, you talked about you were an accountant, a real estate agent, so you had like really proper jobs over time. You had good jobs too, and it's like, what made you? So it's a two-part question. Number one, what made you leave the real jobs for a job that wasn't really a secure one, like streaming? And then number two, where do you get the music side of things, the passion for music and things like that? Like, how come you can rap? Like, you shouldn't be able to rap, bro. Like, how the fuck did you get the ability to rap?
Got you. I'll try to answer that question in a long answer, like usual.
Go ahead. Yeah, anything you want to say, bro. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well, so I was born in the U.S., but both my parents were born in Greece, and so my first language was Greek. I mentioned that because, you know, I English was not my first language, and I actually had to take like speech classes in when I was younger, just like to teach me English a little bit. But what was a positive of that was I still retain Greek to this day, and I also can pick up other languages pretty well. So I say this because that kind of expands the vocabulary for rapping, right? If you could speak multiple languages, maybe they say things a little bit different, so you can kind of like take from those just childhood or just growing up experiences and draw from it to be like pretty decent at rapping. Regarding singing, my dad actually has a decent voice. He wouldn't sing very often, but when he did, like he, you know, like people would say like you're good, you know, like that's great. And so, you know, I don't want to say that I got it from him per se, but because he's able to do it, I had just saying things that I heard, and suddenly people were saying like, "Yo, like Boa, you're actually like pretty decent." So I've never taken any kind of singing classes. I don't consider myself great. It's just raw talent. But I did when I was younger, you know, do chorus, both on just because you had to take that class. And then also I chose to take it on my senior year of high school. And then I also did a musical in high school too called Little Abner. Do you want to hear my opening line?
100%, bro.
All right, yeah. It was a play called Little Abner, and I was the bad guy. Earthquake Magoon was my name. And okay, so here was my line.
Wait, say that one more time. Earthquake Magoo.
Magoon.
Magoon.
Pretty badass
Earthquake
name.
Magoon, yeah. And
Okay,
so like
okay.
my opening line, like when I was introduced, this is what it was. Step aside for Earthquake Magoon, busting out all over like June. I step on the corner enormous and honorary, making the fairer sex swoon.
Dude, shout out to you, bro.
That was it was a musical, so there was all sorts of shit like that throughout the whole thing. But it was fun. It was fun.
I just got wet enough to drown a baby, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, shout out to Zorfam for the sub. Shout out to QQPRS for the sub. He said, "I'm Raging Waves gay friend." I mean, shout out to the LGBT community, bro. Fuck it, why not? But
all I know is if I ever become a male stripper, my name is going to be Earthquake Magoon.
100%. Yeah.
Next on stage, Earthquake Magoon, waving my cock around like an earthquake. 100%.
And to continue the story about like that, so that's like the singing side. The rap side, for whatever reason, like I lived in a very, still East Coast, but basically a farm place. Like basically there were farms. There's cornfields all over where I live. Very, very white Anglo-Saxon upbringing. Where the only problems are basically just drug overdoses. Like obviously everyone's having those issues all over the country, but basically,
fucking right.
Yeah, but basically, for some reason, I got into rap. And all I gotta say is Tupac greater than Biggie. First off,
damn.
Tupac number one for me. And then outside of that, I also got into Boys to Men. Like I loved listening to Boys to Men. I loved listening to R&B. And maybe I don't. Then what? This feels like a therapy session, and here's why. Because I'm starting to realize something. I wonder if the reason why I got into rap was because like I had these twin babysitters who were African American, and they were both really fucking hot. And now I'm starting to think to myself, like, thinking back, like, not many kids in my neighborhood probably had that experience. And maybe I did it because I wanted to hook up with them. I don't know.
Bro, that sounds like some sort of fantasy, bro. Twins?
It was a fantasy, actually, dude.
Twin babies? Not one,
really
but two babysitters?
African-American chicks. Oh, my God, dude. We would wrestle and shit. You don't understand.
Oh, my Lord.
You don't
mercy,
fucking understand, bro. It was good.
Were they like caramel black, or like were they like Kit Kat black? Like how black?
It was probably. I mean, I don't know. I that's a weird question, dude. They were African American. I don't know the slight. I mean, I do know the shade. They were
like dark skin or light skin. That's what I'm asking.
Lighter skin, but not that light. Like on the lighter side.
So you down with the brown, my brother?
I'm down with the brown or black. Doesn't matter anything. Dude. I don't discriminate against anyone.
So you date black women then?
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I have dated but like on a date. But here's the other thing. Like, and again, I've told my chat this, so this isn't breaking news. It might be breaking news for you.
It is. It definitely is.
It is, and so I'm gonna reveal it. But it's just this is life, right? So again, because I was gullible, because I was friendly, right? I was terrible with girls in high school. Like, terrible. I'm still terrible today, but when I'm talking terrible, I'm talking about terrible. So I didn't lose my virginity until I was 21, and I lost it to some whores in Greece.
Okay.
All right.
And the first one
let's keep going.
So the first one I selected was an African American girl, believe it or not. So yeah. I did multiple that night because I was so excited that one wasn't enough. And
I mean, you'd have been pent up for most of your teenage life. I can't blame you.
so it was probably like
I need more.
2 or 3 there for the first time. And yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say this to my dudes out here because I bet you a lot of Albion people, like, I don't want to assume people are awkward with women, but I'm guessing there are some people who might have that problem in this community.
Oh, bro, come on.
So let me just say this to you guys, right? If you have a perfect vision of what love is, or if you're building it up so much in your mind, you're probably like cucking yourself out of getting laid. And so what I would do is just buy a prostitute and get it over with. Just literally go have sex, pay for it, get the fucking, just see what happens, and you're gonna feel so much more confident with yourself instantly. Like, after that, I started getting laid regularly in college.
I think the Dalai Lama said that, by the way. That was the Dalai Lama quote.
Like, if you're having problems like with women and you feel like you should have gotten laid by now, like, yeah, dude, just get it over with, dude. Just get it over with, and your life.
If you need help with that, just let me know, and I'll send you in the right direction while taking some off the top.
There you go.
Exactly, man. That's all I gotta say.
I like that you give some advice on women, because, bro, we're playing Albion. Albion motherfuckers definitely need some women advice out here.
Yeah,
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie,
don't build it up, man. Don't build it up. Get it over with. Get whatever's holding you back out of the way, so that you can actually live your life and understand, like,
unless
what the reality is.
Unless it's some bad shit, then don't do that. Yeah. Like, come on, guys. He's not giving you a free pass to go out there and knock up a store or some shit. Don't do that.
No, right? No. We're only talking about, like, virginity type stuff. That's all.
Yeah, bro. Don't hold it in and then one day go visit up a school. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Yeah. That's how that type of stuff happens. You guys know what I mean? But yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm from New York City. We invented horse, so, like, I got mine a little earlier than most.
We invented horse. What is it? Like in a laboratory or some shit, bro? Like,
the dreads were fresh, he's saying, bro. You got
all I'm saying, man.
Like,
Ever been to Times Square? You ever been to Times Square? When I was 13 years old, I was walking through Times Square, and some guy walked up to me. He was like, "Smoke girls' IDs." I was like, "God damn, dude! Like, you're enterprising here. Like, they're everywhere, man." Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I know a bunch of dudes. I definitely play with a bunch of dudes that if they ever kissed a girl, myself included, if I ever kissed a girl, I think I would jizz in my pants instantly. Like, I'm a virgin, but I don't know if you know that, but yeah.
You are not. Come on.
100%.
You're not.
100%.
Nah. No, I don't believe it for 1 second, bro. I don't believe it for 1 second.
But I definitely love the honesty, bro. You're a very honest person.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, like, yes, there are things in life that you might regret, and was there regret after that? Maybe a little, but like, not, like, it was more positive than negative. So you got to stand behind your decisions.
Most of the regret was hers.
Well, no, she got paid. What do you mean? She got paid, bro.
I'm just saying, did you tip her?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. All right.
I always tip them if I'm paying. The fuck,
like,
the biggest tip of my life.
Boa, let's get to the gaming part. Let's get to the gaming part.
Yeah.
What were you playing before Albion? Tell us what you were playing. Did you already answer that? I feel like I asked you that question.
So it was Ultima Online, and then it was World of Warcraft.
Okay, so you did play Ultima Online.
I never really played World of Warcraft as seriously as other people. Just like I would log in. Actually, my habit of creating new characters in Albion probably came from WoW, because I was just like, I'd log in, level a character to 20, get bored, level it up again. Like, I was very casual, basically. Okay. But yeah, Ultima and WoW, and it was really Ultima, which is why I became, big into this game.
It's a great game.
So you come to Albion. What are some of the first memories you have on Albion? Like, when you think about it and you started, like, oh my God, I'll never forget the first time I squatted up with these people or went to fight this person. What are some of your first memories on this game that you're nostalgic about?
So probably my first memories were this one zone that I remember in beta 1. Like I had joined the Jackal Guild, which was my first real guild that I joined, and they were offering to take me out to like the black zones and stuff. But I had found this one yellow zone that I just really freaking loved. And I was too scared to go out and like do PvP as early as I was in there because I joined them only 1 month in. I was still very worried. So, do you remember the zone Curlew Creek? Does that ring a bell?
Not really. Well, you gotta tell me what part of the map it was.
Yeah, so I forget exactly what side it was on, but Curlew Creek and one other zone, I forget the other name, but back in beta 1, Curlew Creek and one other yellow zone had T6 mobs in it. Every other zone that was yellow was T5, but for some reason this zone, Curlew Creek, and then the other zone had T6 mobs in it. And whenever I went there, and whenever any of the normal crew would go there, like everyone would just flag up and try to farm the T6 mobs. And if anyone came there to try to steal the farms, we just fought each other endlessly. So I met like probably like 10 of my best friends in Albion from this yellow zone. Just fucking around, like changing up our builds, teaming up against each other. Like there's so many people that I still know to this day. Like Nosk is one of the more popular ones that you guys know. Me and Nosk were both there. That's where we met and where we were fighting constantly. And then a few other players. So for me, it was the learning that I had at that stage of the game, as well as where I met a lot of my friends.
Gotcha.
So outside of that, one of the best memories was actually one where you were in it, but you might remember how I always kind of joke and say the Sexy Alliance 1 Beta 3.
Yes.
Because it was the last major fight of the server. It was going to be the launch coming up. And the Filthy Casuals and a bunch of other guilds formed the Sexy Alliance. I believe it was Blackout, Conflict, Mercenarios, Overlords. We had like a pretty big Brazilian contingent. And basically we went up against Echo of Silence and you guys. Were you guys Red Army still back then, or was it Money Guild?
Yeah. No, it was Red Army.
Yeah, Red Army, Echo of Silence, and a few other, guilds that were mega guilds, and we ended up beating you guys in the final battle. Now, do you have a caveat on that, or do you agree that we won?
I'll be honest, true. I don't remember, but I'll take your word for it, bro. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, that was fun.
I'm embarrassed.
He didn't
just
answer
to
the question.
I mean, bro, I just got. I don't remember it, but I'm definitely embarrassed if we actually lost to the Filthy Casuals. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, no, I if I was a guild of your caliber losing to us, I'd probably feel the same way too. but I'll say this: the what do you call it? The reason why we won was because it was a lag fest, if you remember, and we were the first ones to figure out that the only thing that worked was focus fire auto attacks. So everyone was literally focus firing, auto attacking, and our side learned it first, and we just wiped you guys with auto attacks. Like no one can do anything except auto attack.
Yeah, I remember
Auto
the fucking
attacks and glacials. Glacials were the other thing. You just cast a glacial and just hope for the best.
I remember fucking that fight. There was like the server was fucking shit. Every time we would try to get together and get like big fights, the server would just crash. That's why I never actually did ZVZs until like 2 years after the game launched. Like ZVZs before that was so trash.
Bro, it was terrible. Back in Gravelight Marsh, like we would just rubber band everywhere. You couldn't do shit with more than 20v20. You know?
Yeah. Definitely. Boy, you remember when Wade used to stream, bro, and then we used to play together sometimes in beta 2 and stuff like that? Or no?
I think I do, but give me a memory from then that you're trying to remember here. Or do you remember something?
I specifically remember when Wade had turned on his stream and he was drunk as a motherfucker, and then you were streaming, and then he was telling you that he was going to get more viewers than you, and he started lying to everybody that he was giving away like a bunch of money, and you guys were talking shit to each other. That's all I remember. I still have some sound clips.
You play it because I actually don't remember this for some reason.
I need to find it, but it was like
as long as it's TOS
He blacked
compliant,
it
I
out
don't
in
know.
his mind.
I don't think it's TOS. I don't think this stuff is TOS because before Twitch didn't really used to care about like how much shit you used to talk. So I remember like Wade used to turn on his stream and just say the F word and a bunch of other words, and nobody would care, you know.
Right.
But yeah, like I remember playing with you. You used to come play with me, Killer Queen, and other people from Beta.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, when I definitely have some memories.
I remember that. I remember when I think when I first met you or something, I dueled you and you had the ironclad and you won the duel by knocking me out of the circle. You remember those days?
Yeah, and I was gonna give Killer Queen away to marry you.
Yeah,
And we were gonna have
that.
an in-game wedding. You remember?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you and Spider betrayed me?
Yeah.
You stream snipe betrayed me.
Yeah. That was good.
That was fucking hilarious. Yeah.
So
shit.
there's definitely some memories from Beta.
Yeah.
We could talk on and on about it, but because 99% of people don't really know about that stuff, then you know, we're not gonna get too much into it, or else
Sure.
everybody gets lost.
True.
So you start playing Albion, Beta passes by, you're streaming on and off. You're taking a break. You said 2018 you had family stuff. Then the pandemic comes. I'm not going to say the word because Twitch and YouTube don't like that type of stuff. But the pandemic comes, the lockdowns come. And Boldy told me that that shit was hard on you. Can you tell me a little bit about that or no?
Yeah, sure. Well, so I had actually gotten a really good routine going after my father passed. I was helping out my mom a lot at the restaurant, and then COVID hit. So yeah, like if your audience doesn't know, like my family's owned a restaurant since 1980. So 42 years now we've owned the restaurant.
Is it a Greek restaurant?
It's an Italian restaurant with a few Greek specialties. It's like a sit down place.
Okay.
It's not like super high class. Like we're known for consistency and good food at an affordable price at a huge portion. So we're like Woodbury's like little secret. A lot of people call us, like a lot of the old school Woodbury people come to us because they know they're going to get a good meal. They know they're going to get a good value. And we've survived for 42 years, but the pandemic obviously made everybody shut down for at least a month. I think it was like no one could leave the house or whatever. And for a while there, we weren't sure if the government was going to pass any kind of rescue plans for the smaller businesses, but thankfully they did, and we survived it. But it did take its toll on me. Like I actually was not, we didn't need me anymore to work there in the capacity that I worked. I didn't really want to work there anyway, but it was a kind of good routine. And then it kind of it kind of threw me off a little bit. But that was basically it. Just not knowing if the family business was going to go under or not. That was kind of stressful.
Yeah, definitely. But everything is good now?
The restaurant's good. We're probably going to sell it pretty soon. Just because, it's
a hassle.
Time. It's a hassle. It's hassle and it's time. But yeah, we'll probably sell it within the next year.
Gotcha. And what about like we talked about the drops before, right? But how about the money aspect? Is the money much better now that the drops came out? Did it take some worry out of your real life at least, so you can rest a little bit more, you can chill a little bit more?
Yeah, the money's been amazing. Like this is definitely an income that I can actually live off of full time if it continued. Again, I feel more realistic about it. I don't know if it will continue or at the rate that it is, but it's still surpassing expectations on how long it's been going. Like we're now over a month of elevated views. We went from like 100 average viewers to 1,000 average viewers every stream. So like our stream has 10x'd itself. But realistically, everyone's going to take, probably a little bit of a hit coming forward, especially on subs. But if the ad revenue continues and these viewers continue, everyone's really making the most money off of ad revenue right now. it's crazy. Like the ad revenue side of Twitch, I never had anywhere near a notable amount of money, but like I had 633 subs at peak during this last month, and my ad revenue was more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn! But
it's huge. It's huge, dude. So like you know, I can only imagine the largest streamers in our category. They're fucking really doing well right now, dude.
yeah. I've
Really
never
doing well.
in my whole life. I don't think I've ever run this one ad. But I think you need like way more viewers than what I get to run ads, for example. No, like you need like 1,000.
You probably want more viewers, but also Twitch came out with like a thing that said if you're willing to run at least 3 minutes of ads per hour, we'll increase your revenue split to 55%. So that's I just set mine at the bare minimum, and that's what happened. Like if I decided to just go full sellout mode, you could just double that, but you also have to balance, right? Like if you're way too much, people might just not come to your channel anymore. So I keep it at the bare minimum, 3 minutes per hour to get the 55% rate. Yeah. Anything more than that, I just don't want to do it personally. It's a business decision, but I just don't do it.
I mean, you're a smart dude. You see the long-term picture, you know, like you're big on loyalty. You probably want everybody to feel welcome in your stream. You don't want to take any shortcuts. You know what I mean? Like
even now, like people complain about the ads, and I just try to explain it to them, like, guys, like I'm trying to make this a career. I have it on the bare minimum to get more money. I will, you know, and that's it. And so, you know, if people keep complaining, then they could either just not come back or whatever, or just sub, right? If you sub,
it's
you don't got ads, baby.
Subscription. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
like, stop complaining. What you need to do is go hard, like Wade. On his stream, that got him a lot of followers. I don't know if you remember that.
What is he doing? He needs to. You need to have like a scandal, Boa. You need to have a scandal. Did you ever hear about Wade, Darth Wade?
Yeah. No, what happened?
So
what happened
so
I know Wade. And I hosted him. I rated him recently, actually.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
He's been probably the biggest Brazilian streamer on this game. And I remember one day he thought his stream was off. So this motherfucker was playing like League of Legends or some shit. And you see, like,
I have the video, by the way.
You see, yeah, but we can't show that video, of course.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but basically, you know, he's like moving his arm a little bit, right? And then I'm like, what the fuck he's moving his arm to? So I look, and his little tip is poking out of his pants and shit. Okay, so this motherfucker has his dick out jerking off to fucking League of Legends or some shit.
Oh my god! Wait, what?
Yeah.
What was his side? Did he say he had another screen, or was it literally jerking off to League of Legends?
I did talk to him afterwards.
It's like that'd be hilarious if he actually was jerking off to this.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them look cute, but like, you know, I've never thought of doing that myself.
Yeah, but hey, guess what? After that story was on like multiple websites and shit like that, and he just blew up. He was getting like, before drops, he was getting like 500 viewers and shit like that. So it worked out for him. Jason, what did he say when we asked him about that shit?
Yeah, I asked him. I messaged him. I'm like, hey, bro. He was an arch at the time. I'm like, how you doing? He was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, can I just ask you a question? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, which League of Legends character were you jerking off to? A lot of people want to know. And he told me it was Jinx, which I assumed, because obviously. And he wrote me in his thick accented kind of like Portuguese. He was like, so I thought stream was off, so I make the happy to Jinx. I don't know why. And that was his response.
I make happy.
I make happy to Jinx.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe we need to do like a BlackBoa scandal or something.
No. Do you guys know? You guys ever watch the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Of course.
It's a classic.
I mean, I've jerked off to Jessica Rabbit multiple times.
I'll probably do that in a couple hours. So I feel you.
That's the hottest cartoon of all time for me.
Cartoon. Yeah. What do you watch now? Oh yeah, and Artista, my good friend Artista said there was one time he came back from the bathroom. He was like shaking his dick across the living room and stuff. He didn't even know he was streaming. So there's a couple times he got caught. Shout
Oh
out to
my God.
Wade. Shout out to Wade. He's crazy. But yeah, besides that, what are you watching?
I watch a lot of HBO, honestly. There was a lot of like HBO series that I watched. So like, what was the one? Westworld was a good one. I watch reruns of Sopranos, even though I've seen The Sopranos when it was out.
Yo, watching it the second time hits different, huh?
It does. It does. You kind of like see things differently, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because you like
Because you were younger, and then like now you're older, and you're like, oh shit. How old are you, Mojo?
I'm 28.
Oh wow. All right. Well, you're still you're I'm almost 11 years older than you.
Oh, so you're about to hit 40. I mean, you still look young, bro. You're a very youthful guy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, so HBO series mainly. I if I'm not watching HBO, it's always on ESPN. Just getting sports news. Like even though I don't do any sports anymore, like I used to play basketball a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I still like really enjoy just keeping up on the sports. Like
what sports
nothing
you
hardcore. Basketball number 1, football number 2, soccer number 3, or football, and then baseball the least.
Gotcha.
Actually hockey above baseball.
Yeah.
And maybe even above soccer. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I've been watching. I just started watching a show called the Terminal List.
I heard that shit is good. I've been meaning to tune into it. It's good.
Yeah. It's with Chris Pratt from Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And I usually don't like military shit. It's very corny, but this one's actually really good. I fuck with it. So that's definitely a good show. Sopranos, I fuck with Sopranos, bro. Trying to think what else.
What about Ozark? You seen Ozark? Ozark is good, man.
Didn't see it. Like what's your favorite like movie or series, Boa?
Movie number 1 is Braveheart, number 2 is Forrest Gump, and then everything else is kind of whatever. It kind of changes.
What do you rank?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you rank Gladiator?
Gladiator, I was just about to say number 3. I would say Gladiator is probably number 3 for me as well.
Okay.
Very close to it. How about you? What's your top 3?
That's my number 1 right there. Gladiator is my number
really?
1, 100%.
Wow.
100%.
Have you seen Braveheart?
I've seen Braveheart, of course. Of course.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I don't blame you for putting that on number 1. That's on a lot of people's top 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame you. Like Saving Private Ryan, that's on people's top 3. Gladiator, that's usually on people's top 3. But the reason I like Gladiator so much is because fucking Maximus in the movie, Russell Crowe, he's such a G. You know?
Yeah.
He's such a G, bro. Like this dude just he was on top, and when he was at the bottom, he didn't complain, he didn't cry, nothing about it. He just manned up and got the job done, So I look up to people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought he was I thought he did well there. Honestly though, the guy who stole the show for me was Joaquin Phoenix as the king, dude. Like you fucking hated that guy's guts so bad. He played that role like incredibly. Like Russell Crowe, like badass, yes, but like he's kind of an actor where he has only one face. You know what I mean? I don't see much emotion from him, but like Joaquin Phoenix, like that guy, he can be so many different things, and it's always like that's when he became one of my favorite actors.
I heard he had help playing that role because he's actually an IRL douchebag. But yeah,
I actually I read that in real. You know what's crazy? In real life, the character that he plays, right? So the person that he's supposed to play was actually much worse in real life than he was in the movie.
Commodus,
yeah. He was a terrible person.
Yeah, he was horrible. Yeah.
Which is crazy because his father, Marcus Aurelius, I don't know how much of a history buff you are, but as I'm getting older, I appreciate it more, So I was reading a lot about Marcus Aurelius, and that's like for me, he's number 1 all time, But as great as he was, his son was like the worst one. That's like his failure in life. His son was terrible. Yeah, and that's who Commodus That's who Joaquin Phoenix is playing. You know, he was the terrible person.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie, he wasn't supposed to get the king either, right? But he killed his father early before, like his sister was going to take over. Yeah.
I think in real life, what actually happened was he had like 7 sons who all died during the plague, and so pretty much the sons that he groomed to become the next king all died. So what happened was I guess the only thing he could do is just give it to his only son remaining, you know? And then he ended up dying, but he didn't get killed in real life, Marcus Aurelius. He died during the plague. So so he was such a man's man, right? That during the plague, all his advisors told him, listen, go to your house in the estate, in the countryside, and just go up there for a while so the plague doesn't reach you. And this motherfucker said, no, I'm staying right here. So he stayed, and then he died from the plague. So,
damn.
Yeah. But he was a G, you know? He was a man, pretty much. So yeah. Back to Albion. Stream sniping. Okay? Let me ask you about stream sniping.
Sure.
I remember at some point in beta, the EOS boys, super toxic guild. We've interviewed Ali on the stream before. He loves you. He said only good things about you, by the way. But I remember when they were like following you around and you were streaming and they were saying like the N-word and stuff like that. What should stream snipers get banned, in your opinion?
So this is like one of the most toxic conversations that Albion ever has, and I'll tell you what my new policy has been and how I believe my stream has benefited really well for having a new policy on the whole stream sniping issue. But back then, if I have to transport myself back in time, those guys were like not even really like doing things that were necessarily bannable, because Albion does not ban stream snipers, but those guys, by spamming racial and hate speech, like that was a bannable offense back then, you know? So like stream sniping was bad enough, right? But then you're spamming things to actually like that are against the game's policy, and then they're specifically against Twitch's policy. And it was like an attempt to get me banned, you know what I mean? Like, or it felt that way at least. Like, if they're gonna do that, like they're literally just trying to get me banned, you know? It was really hard to deal with. I was extremely emotional back then. I remember I used to like have outbursts and like talk shit to the stream snipers, and just like, you know, basically give them exactly what they wanted, right? Like, what a stream sniper wants is that attention. And so, number one, do I think stream snipers should be banned? Today, do I think that? I in the past have said someone stream sniped me that may or may not have been actually stream sniping me. So if they ever do a ban policy on it, it would have to be such an egregious case that was irrefutable with evidence to back it up, that if they had enough resources to do something like that, where it was like without a shred of doubt like the most egregious case, if Albion decided to do that, I would support an initiative like that personally. But it would have to be a situation where they had a system in place, right? But because Albion will never do that, and Albion will never have the resources to put into that, or do they ever want it? I don't think they do. I think they just view it as something that is impossible to like actually verify. Here's my new policy. Mm-hmm. When stream sniping happens, or when I think it happens, the new policy is I don't talk about it. The new policy is every time I die, it's my fault. Whenever chat says, was that a stream sniper? I say, chat, listen to me, guys. Like we're not talking about it. Whether it was or it was not, I know what I got into here. I'm streaming. It's always my fault when I die. So when you watch my channel in comparison to perhaps some other channels who complain about the sniping and point it out more, my channel is like super never talks about it. Like every time I die, maybe there's a one-off someone thinking it was, but they're new to my channel, so like I tell them what happens and they don't really talk about it anymore. Like no one's ever like stream sniper. Like it's so peaceful in my channel because we've changed the attitude towards it. I personally believe that when people point it out and dwell on it and feed into it, it actually makes it worse for them. I don't have evidence of this, but I just feel as though, based on my own past experience of going through hell for so long, that the best thing to do is just take all accountability. Just don't give it the breath of air that they want you to give it. I don't know if anyone feels differently. I don't know if anyone feels differently about that, but like honestly, like the more you bitch and moan, the more they're gonna like attack you for it because you're giving them exactly what they want. And I just train my chat and I train my people in my Discord, like my guildies. They say, like sometimes someone says, "Oh, I think they're sniping us." I'm like, dude, did you read the guild policy? Every time we die, it's because we died, not because of somebody else. Do not mention that in our guild, you know? So basically, everyone's been trained to just play the game, have fun. If they truly feel like that's an issue for them, then they just need to leave the guild, right? Because nothing's going to change from my side. So yeah, after that policy was made, my stream has been so much more peaceful.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of people sniping you. Like I follow you, and you know, compared to other streamers, you don't really have a lot of people that straight troll you as much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I also don't really. So there's an also concerted effort there too, right? Like, whereas some other people might be more vocal about Arch, whenever someone says like "fuck Arch" in my chat, right? Like I'm like, guys, this is not a place to make fun of other guilds. Everyone is welcome in my channel. I was in Arch at one point. I was in Awful Company. I had nothing but good things to say about it. So, you know, these are my ways of dealing with it in a diplomatic fashion to ensure that people feel welcome in my channel. So I think that's another reason. Like some other people might just continue to talk shit about Arch, and then what are they going to do? They're going to come and gank you, right?
By the way, that was me in chat saying "fuck Arch." I was drunk. That's my bad.
No problem. But like literally, you have to take it as a policy and apply it everywhere. Because if you let people in your chat talk shit about a certain contingent, that's just like you allowing it. You have the power to silence, ban anyone. If someone's talking shit about another streamer in your chat and you're not doing anything to stop it, you're complicit. You are basically talking shit about that streamer.
I agree. Yeah, I know. I think that, you know, you set a momentum, you set a narrative. It's very solid, man. I like it. Mm-hmm.
So you just got to be honest and forthright and like be a mature person. Yeah, let's not get into kid bullshit, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But let's not pretend like that type of content also isn't great. Like Mauled is kind of funny, let's be honest, and it gets viewers. So
yo, Humperdinck Rage is my favorite rage. Actually, Dirtman Rage. Dirtman Rage was the best. When Dirtman raged because Arch ganked him and he smashed his headset against the table, bro, I was crying laughing. That was like a $300 headset, and he just straight up bricked it because he was mad at Arch.
I didn't see that, but yeah, that's.
I'll send you the video. I got it.
Yeah.
One of my guys clipped it.
I mean, and again, I guess that is a bit of a business decision, maybe. I don't know, because I would rather not have those viewers if they're stream sniping me. That's just my, you know. Yeah. I don't need those type of viewers. You know.
Yeah, no, but Dirtman Rage was back even before roaming mobs. Dirtman was streaming when we would gank him. Oh man, his rage was just the best. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you don't really have evidence of that it works, but I mean, you're 100% right. It's kind of like if I talk shit to I'm a big shit talker on Albion when I'm playing Albion, right? When I'm talking shit to someone, if they reply to me, I automatically won. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel. I automatically won. If somebody always ignores me, I'm not gonna really go after him because it's like, what's the fun in that, you know? Like, it's the same thing if somebody talks shit about me. Like, if I ignore them, then I know they're not gonna do it again because it's you kind of control the energy. you know. So the fact that you keep such a positive energy around your stream and around the people that you hang out with, I think that's probably why you're like the least stream sniped streamer in the game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't know the psychology behind like the whole stream sniping thing, but yeah, it's strange.
If you don't feed a troll, they die. Like that's
yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Like, look at, like, for instance, I'm not trying to call out names, but, like, look at, like, Ninush, because another example of, like, a wholesome streamer. She doesn't have a lot of problems in her stream at all, because she's just like, yo, I know what I'm about.
That's different, though. She's an ego.
I actually, I don't know about that.
Really?
Jason, I mean, I don't think I could say anything, because, yeah, it's like, yeah, I can't say anything. No problem. Yeah, like, yeah. Some people have it harder than others.
I remember she get kicked from her guild? I'm pretty sure she got kicked from her guild. She was in Gringos or something.
Did she? Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about any of that. But like, but I know when I watched her stream that she was getting sniped pretty hard. Like a few times that I saw her, and she wasn't having a good time either. So like, yeah, like it's, yeah.
I love Nina. She's great.
I love her too. Yeah. I think she's amazing too.
Go to Terry, farm them.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, I know to me it's common sense. If you're a streamer and someone starts stream sniping you and you get upset, bro, you're attracting more people that will do that to you. I promise you. That's just how it works.
Content, right? No,
yeah, that is 100% how it works.
Right. It took me years to realize that. And
but again, do you do what he did, or do you embrace it? Right.
I embrace it.
That's what I'm saying. If you embrace it, it's more like people will try to farm you for that content and consistently do that and come back just to do that, and then you've got good content on YouTube because of it, right? People love to see a freak out. If you don't agree with that, just look at I Show Speed on YouTube, right? He's been destroying his whole set for, I don't know, like 2 years now, and he has thousands and millions of viewers. Like, that type of content is completely applicable to this game. And at the same time, it's frowned upon, right? It's one of the coolest dynamics ever, in my opinion. Because like he's saying, he doesn't want that type of content. That's not what it is. That's his business decision. That's his choice. And that's how it operates in his stream, right? But then again, like he said, you go to some other streamers who gets ganked often and they give that reaction over and over again. And it's like, yes, give me those tears. I love this.
Bring me joy.
This is how I know tears are salty.
110%, bro. You just gotta embrace it. You have to embrace it. Even I don't care if it actually gets to you or even a little bit. If you don't show it, people are gonna leave you alone, bro. Like, but when I was playing, I was literally the most hated dude in the game, and it's like you would be surprised. Even as the most hated dude, I wasn't getting harassed that much because people knew if they messaged me, I just ignore them. That's it. And it doesn't happen again, bro. Most of the time. Of course, there's a couple people that are very stubborn. They're gonna keep doing it. You just have to accept it and keep moving, you know?
Yeah. And then one other thing too, like that I think, I mean, and listen, I'm not a stream sniper, but like because like I'm
why'd you have to clarify that?
Wait, why did I have to clarify that?
The shit that you haven't been accused of.
Well, no, I had to clarify because I'm going to tell you like an emotion I feel like I could put myself in the stream sniper's shoes is what I'm trying to get at, right? Like even though I hate the activity, like when I hear like someone try to pretend like there's a punishment for it, like as a way to deter a stream sniper, like I think to myself, oh man, that would just only get me wanting to stream snipe more if someone said that. You know what I mean? Because there is no punishment for it in Albion, which is why you don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. There's no punishment. Like someone can pretend like there is, but people are smart. They can see right through that. They'll just be like, okay.
Making you
go ahead.
Stream, make a new Twitch account to come back and snipe me again. Like, come on.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So you're saying there's motherfuckers out here bluffing?
Yeah. Bluffs don't work, I don't think. I don't think bluffs work in this scenario.
Tell me about this community guild, the community guild, because you had the filthy casuals, which I would call a success, right? I would call a success. And now you have a hydration check. So can you tell me a little bit about both of those and why you created filthy casuals and then now hydration check? Can you tell me some of the differences and the similarities between the two?
Yeah, so there might be some sound in the background, just FYI, but I'll try to mute it when there isn't. Basically, so this streaming challenge was interesting, right? It was at a point where I thought I was going to make New World my main game. That ended up crashing and burning, and so I was just streaming random games right before I made this 365-day streaming challenge. And so finally I said, fuck it, like, what am I doing? My channel's dead. The only place for me has only ever been, like, you know, Albion. So I said, I'm just going to just put it out there. I don't know if I'm going to hit this or anything like that. Hold on one sec.
It's all good, bro. By the way, Seed, if you have to go, I was just messaging you about how you are here since Mr. Bo is not here. If you have to go, can you trade Jason 2 items that mmorpg gave us? Because he wanted me to give them away this stream. So.
Yep, I got
Do I have to get up? God damn it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Fuck.
Oh shit,
By the way, shout out to
Flacco's
Sniping
here.
in chat. I think that
I'm just creeping, you know?
What up, Flacco? What's up, brother?
Okay, sorry.
Bro, I'm just addicted.
might be a little more hated than you, Mojo. Just saying.
No, you think? Wait, hold on. You think Cindy's more hated than me? I don't think so, bro.
Game, absolutely. People treat him like he's like like we said, he's like Palpatine to them. They're like, oh, the evil man.
Yeah, but I don't think they. I think now. Yes, you're right. I think now you're right, 100%.
I mean, I get a lot of hate mail, so.
Why? You're the nicest guy, bro.
I don't know, man. Somebody once sent me a picture of a dick and hedge clippers next to it in Discord.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
What the fuck?
Here, let's do a giveaway in Mobrafi's name. Boom! Exclamation mark Mobrafi. Let me put it on the screen here. By the way, welcome back, Mr. Ball. Welcome back, bro.
Yeah, thank you. So at the beginning of this stream challenge, right? I'll just kind of. All right, is it right if I continue the story or?
100%. 100%.
All right, cool. So yeah, so at the beginning of this streaming challenge, I created a guild called the Bunch of Bulls. And I was doing things like I'm doing with Hydration Check, and they were growing. We were doing really awesome, and right around the 120-day mark. I had some disagreements with like whether I thought we were ready to kind of go into the hideout game because I've never done it before. I'm a stress ball as it is, and I basically left the Bunch of Bulls to do a solo stint in this streaming challenge. The Bunch of Bulls continued on, led by Guardian, one of my mods, and also really close friends from the beta. He continued the Bunch of Bulls for the next 120 days. And he still continues to run it to this day. At the 240-day mark, I decided to create Hydration Check and the Drink Alliance. And
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and who else did we ally with? The Bunch of Bulls. So it was literally like full circle. I'm allied with the old guild that I created at the beginning of this challenge. Both guilds have about 200, I think, in the Bulls, 300 in Hydration Check after only 26 days, I think, that we've been in existence. And the main reason for building Hydration Check was, like, in addition to all these Twitch drops and all the, viewers that are here, what is the end goal that Albion wants here, right? Like, they want to retain people. They want people to play the game whether there's drops or not. And so I ended up, creating this guild mainly because I wanted to leverage the fact that we had all these new viewers, and I want to make sure that Albion actually retains some people. Running communities as well is just like good for your stream as well, so that's just another added bonus there. And yeah, we actually are going to create a public hideout. We already planted it, as you saw in the video right now. and this public hideout is called the Hydration Check Bar and Lounge. I want to make it a place where everyone like can just come in, visit it, and maybe even have some like end game of role play that we're an actual like establishment where people can come in, sit down, order something. Like if they want like a shot of beer, it could be like a T4 poison pot. If they want like a shot of Grey Goose, they could order a T8 poison. Like we'll figure out a menu. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to role play an actual tavern called the Hydration Check Bar and Lounge. That's kind of what we're up to. Yeah.
I like that.
I give it a week before I get thrown out.
You think we're gonna get thrown out?
No, I will. So? No, I'm saying I'll get thrown out.
Oh, you'll get thrown out. Okay. Well, we might
in the corner, touch one of your waitresses, fight a bouncer.
We are gonna have private rooms for dances, so you might be fine. Actually,
come down north of Fort Sterling Bank.
All right.
We might have some lap dances going on in there, so you'd be okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man, that's just tease. If there's like a private room and the girls get handsy, I'm in.
Yo, by the way, giveaway going on right now. 8.3 Masterpiece Bloodletter. If you want to jump in, ! Mubrafi. Copy paste what everybody's saying in the chat, and then make sure your name is up there with the rest. What about the filthy casuals, Boa? Because listen, a lot of the motherfuckers, like I said before, a lot of people from your guild that were in filthy casuals. I'll give you some names. Sir Albion, I think, was one of them. Correct?
Yeah.
Sir Albion, that's one of my main guys. Literally was there since pretty much day one that BA started. Poon Poon, she was there pretty much the day one that Blue Army started. I don't know if you remember Poon Poon.
Not so much. I don't remember that name so much.
It's okay. She remembers you. She doesn't play Albion no more, but she remembers you. She was a super good person.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think her and Sir Albion kind of came at the same time together from Fricks to BA, and they often talked about the filthy casuals and how much fun their experiences there were. Another one which you know very well, extremely well, Boldy, the man himself, Boldy. Probably one of the most stand-up coolest dudes that I've met on this game by far.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Like, was a great player, but is like a really good human too. So yeah, he's doing well.
Absolutely.
You ever keep in touch with Boldy?
100%.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, and he loves you to death. Like all the people I'm talking about, the amount of good things they have to say about you is insane. So yeah, Beho is another one. Thanks, Sir Abia.
I remember Beho.
Yeah. Did Flufferpup come from Filthy Casuals?
He had his own guild, Wild West, but he did join us for a while. Yeah,
so I'll count that too. Yeah, I'll count that too. That he's also one of the coolest, nicest dudes that I've ever met on this game. So yeah, it's just it's even though you had your own little arch, and it's also like that with Jason and Seed. Like they have arch today, and so many good players came out of that also I ended up playing with. So both of you guys started a lot of good players off in your guilds.
Yep.
So I like that about you guys.
Thanks, brother.
You guys have some sort of patience that I don't have, because training like new players it takes a whole new level of patience. That shit is difficult,
I don't know, man. We lose our temper a lot in Arch. I appreciate your sentiments.
Yeah, but you keep going. That's the thing. You keep going. That's the main thing.
I will say this, as I've grown older, it's actually become it becomes a problem. It's definitely hard, but like this time around in Hydration Check, like I'm actually growing into it a little bit. But there are some tough times where I have to be an asshole, and I hate fucking being an asshole. Like that's just not my. That's not my number one, favorite thing to be. But when people are making really bad mistakes, you gotta lay down the law a little bit,
Is that your least favorite part about leadership?
100%. I'm more so the guy who gets people excited and brings people in. If you got to talk about operations, get me the fuck out of there. I don't want to operate nothing. I just want to be the guy who could do some content, recruit just like we did. Like I said, I think we're 265. Yeah, 25 days ago we went from 0 to 300 members. Like a lot of work goes into that too, trying to get them all set up in Discord and all that stuff. But we luckily have a good core of officers. We have a good core of mods who are really helping me out this time, and they're making it a lot easier for me. I usually don't put people in leadership because of, you know, my distrust.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to. You have to.
Yeah,
You have to. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like you said before, it's you know, you have reasonable trust in people, and you also understand that you might get backstabbed at any moment, you know, but you can't do it by yourself, right?
Yeah, you can't. It's impossible. You'll just, you'll lose your mind.
Yeah, but you have some. Were you always this patient, bro? Because if somebody, like in Blue Army, if somebody came in during a fight and they just clutter comms with like, what map are we in right now, bro? I'd be like, fucking. Oh shit! What the fuck was that? But you get the point. I would get fucking mad, you know?
Yeah.
So, how were you always this patient, bro?
I would say so. I was probably more patient actually in the past. I was even more patient than I am now in the past. I'm definitely less patient today. The problem is though, like, another reason why guild leadership is kind of difficult for me is because when we fail, like, I feel like I've failed them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I failed others when we fail. Like, I kind of take it on myself.
I know
and I take it out on. Yeah, like I take it out on myself rather than taking it out on other people because I don't want to be ugly to them. Like, I'll be ugly to myself, no problem. But like, you know, the managerial side of things are not very good for me. The feedback loop is not very good. Like, I do good to an extent, and then I reach a point where I just leave the party because I'm just like, guys, I can't do this anymore. I'll see you later. Like, I just say I gotta do solo stuff right now. That's whenever I go solo, it's mean I've been overloaded and I can't do group stuff anymore. I'm just like, if I do, I'll start being an asshole, and I just remove myself before that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, operationally, we have some officers and we have some really good people in our alliance, the bunch of bulls. So I'm viewing hydration check as a feeder to whatever other alliances that we might enter into. So once we're full, 300 members, bunch of bulls will then get full, 300 members. Then we'll look into another guild to add to the alliance. If they need help recruiting, we'll fill that group up. And we'll just kind of grow that way and see where it takes us. Like, I don't have any long-term plans. The only plans are keep filling guilds up and let's roleplay the tavern. Do you want to hear the theme song of the tavern?
100%.
All right, here we go. All right. Some of you guys might know this song from elsewhere, but don't say anything yet.
Okay.
All right. Take a chance, make it happen, pop a cork, fingers snapping, spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet, grab yourself a front row seat, let's meet and have a ball. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Hydration Check.
They're beautiful. That's the voice of Jesus right there, bro.
Anyone know where that's from? Like,
no.
Where that song's from? Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. It just plays constantly.
Wait, what the hell? Is that like a commercial?
It's a commercial for a casino, and I just like, well, yeah. So, but that's the tavern's theme song right there, man. So. Stop in, Jason and Seed one of these days.
We will.
On that note, let's give away this 8.3 masterpiece bloodletter real quick. Let's see who wins this shit. By the way, do you get shy when you sing and rap and stuff like that, or nah, not anymore?
You know, if I were to do it in front of actual live people, it'd be a much different stress, but not so much anymore. I've kind of like I'm getting more comfortable with this side of myself, and I'm just letting it rip now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't like, I enjoy singing, and I do it because I enjoy it. I'm not trying to like force it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Like, how much percent of it? Because, by the way, shout out to Tempolo Don. Write your in-game name in chat, and go to Fort Sterling, North Bank if you can. Jason, EQMS will trade you. Over
I'll
there.
be there in like 1 minute. I'm just doing a bedrock
You're fine,
arena
bro. Don't worry
trolling.
about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, bro.
Right.
So, boy, let me ask you, on how much percent of it is natural? Does it come naturally? Your social skills, and how much percent of it is learned? Because, you know, a lot of people I know, or at least even for me, like if I don't stream for like a couple of weeks, I'm much less social when I jump on the stream. You know what I mean? But let's say I do like 3 streams in 1 week instead of 0. I'm much more sharp, you know? So how much of it is like that for you? Like, because you stream every day now. So do you feel sharp? Do you feel on point? Or is it just natural for you?
So I do feel sharp and on point, but I also should mention that one of the struggles in my early streaming days was just brutal migraines. Like I would get migraines during and after the streams. And so, believe it or not, one of the things that's helped me out a lot has been marijuana. Like I've started smoking marijuana every day, multiple times a day, and it's literally like saved my brain from pain. So that has been huge. So when I say it comes naturally, it does. I would still do this even if I wasn't stoned, but being stoned also does have a little bit of a freeing element to it, where you just feel more at ease to say whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean?
Wait, when did you start smoking weed?
So it became legal in Connecticut approximately a year and a half ago, and that's right around when I started smoking.
And you were getting straight up headaches?
Yeah, I get a lot of like stress headaches, social anxiety, things like that. So whenever I smoke, it kind of eases everything. But the social anxiety and the stress is not really from like the game itself. It's more so just like things that I got to deal with IRL. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So so when you do get on the game, you just want to be chill, relaxed. And
yeah,
stuff.
I just want to be chill, relaxed. Gotcha. I don't want to like have to think about anything else other than the game. So, like I said, I was streaming well beforehand without smoking, but I would say that the attitude that smoking brings to the gaming now is definitely a welcome thing. I think everyone likes the vibe. And they also like the silliness, right? Like when you're stoned, you just fucking act like a retard, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, excuse my language there. But yeah, you act.
Oh, no, it's okay. Silly. It's one of my favorite words, bro.
Yeah. So, so basically that's kind of the thing there. And then what else would I say? What was the other part of that question? How much is learned? So
yeah,
being in the restaurant business and working there like early and just being in the front of the restaurant, like, you know, being a host or a busboy or a maitre d' or whatever, that in my early age, like I started working there like early, like between like 12 and 15 years old. Like I was working there regularly, and I would be outside in the front. There would be like people constantly talk to me. It's like, oh, are you the owner's son? And I'm like, yeah, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah.
And so I was forced to kind of get good social skills there, because people would constantly ask me questions, and I was like, had to figure it out. But yeah, so some of it was definitely learned through that experience. And then my mom is like literally the sweetest person in the world. Like she has her moments, but like my warmth comes from her for sure.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like old school, like immigrant families, you know, they definitely have the strong principles, strong morals and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
The old school families and stuff.
Yeah, like being raised in that environment, like first generation Greek too. Like I remember, like here's an example of kind of being like culture shocked a little bit, even though I was living in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Like when I heard kids, and kids maybe just don't know better, but when I heard kids like point out somebody had like let's say someone had a zit on their face, right? You would see this other kid be like, yo, that's the biggest fucking zit I've ever seen, gross, like look at that, you know?
Your kids are ruthless,
like,
bro.
Like, dude, you never point out people's faults like that. Like, I was not raised to do shit like that, but I was like, what the fuck are these fucking kids doing? Like, dude, it's so weird.
Kids are ruthless, bro.
perfect example. Like I was always shocked, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are fucking idiots." That's what I thought when I was a little kid. Yeah.
Hey, who am I trading this blood letter to, Mojo?
His in-game name is. I gotta scroll up.
Okay.
His in-game name is.
I don't want to accidentally give it to Quick Swipe or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He wrote in the chat.
Yeah.
Tempo. Oh yeah, my in-game name is Tempo Lodon. I'm gonna send it to you on Discord real quick.
All right.
And then I actually got a life question for Boa. So Boa, this is more of a life question. So when I was a kid, right, I would always like pick something up and then quit like really fast, you know. It's not until my 20s that I started actually picking stuff up and sticking to it, because that's how you get better at stuff. You're obviously someone who's very disciplined, right? You're extremely disciplined. You actually streamed for how many days is it now in a row?
260, like 266, I think.
Yeah. So when did you learn actual discipline? Because a lot of people talk about like, oh, I'm not motivated to stream today, you know, but you kind of have to sometimes. So even, you know, like even when you stream and you're not motivated to, that's called discipline, right? So when did you learn that skill?
So that's interesting because, you know, most people, if they saw my whole life, would say that I'm undisciplined. But you can be disciplined in a portion of your life and then not be disciplined in other portions. So I'll be perfectly honest, like this is probably one of the only areas of my life where I'm disciplined. Gotcha. Everywhere else, like I'm overweight, I don't go to the gym, like I don't treat my body right. You know, I should probably go out with people IRL more often than I do, you know, and that doesn't happen. So, but in terms of like streaming, right? Starting and taking it one day at a time is really something important, because when I used to try to like think like far in advance, even though it took thought to say I was going to do this 365 days in a row, you had to think in advance for that. I really didn't think in advance. I just said, I'm just going to do this and start and see where it takes me, and I'll take it day by day. And there were definitely some days that I didn't want to stream, but when you realize that consistency in this business is so crucial, and people like a beautiful thing started happening. I literally start every day right around when the server goes off, like, or not when it goes off, but when it comes back on, 6:30 Eastern time, 10:30 UTC. I literally have people coming in early, like typing stuff in my channel early, because they know exactly when to expect me. Right. And that feels motivating. That feels like these people are here because they're having a good time. They want to see the stream. You know, they're acting as a motivating factor for me. So for all the early birds who ever come to my stream, like, thank you. Like, seeing you guys type shit like before the stream even starts really, really gives me a boost of energy, because I know, like, okay, when I turn this on, people are already here, you know? So consistency builds that. People will remember exactly when you're going to stream. You have a schedule. It's really good. So if you want to build discipline, build consistency, build, you know,
like a habit.
View yourself. Yeah, build that habit. Build that habit. But really, even if you can't start at the same time every day, just the goal of streaming every day will transform like your stream significantly. But like I said, to do that, you also are going to have like setbacks, and perhaps in your IRL if you can't manage it well. And I've definitely had some of those. But you know, you gotta know when to push the gas and then know when to press the brakes. And right now, it's push the gas. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you ever feel any burnout?
Or
not yet?
Yes. Yeah. Like there's times where you feel burnout and you just kind of have to keep going through it and just not really make expectations for what's going to happen. Another way to kind of like think of it this way, when I first started this challenge, I put myself in like a little tunnel. No matter what anyone says, like a streamer is impacted a little bit by looking at the category and comparing themselves to others. Like sometimes you might be positively impacted, other times you might be negatively impacted. So when we were building this habit, I made it a habit to not look at Twitch at all. I would just go live without knowing who had the viewers, who was at the top, all of those things, because that would do something really, really good. Hold on one second. I gotta mute myself.
Sure,
Sorry,
sure.
Mojo.
It's okay. Boys, if you guys want to jump into the next giveaway, !BlackBoa. Jason, what do you have? What do you have on you that Seed gave you?
It got the eagle, the crystal eagle, or whatever it is.
Okay. How much is that worth? Do you know?
Let's go find out.
All right, let's do it. By the way, yo, Flacco, did you watch the Dell interview yesterday?
Was I here yesterday?
Did you watch the Dell interview yesterday?
Bro, that was some of the most delusional shit I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought Dell was kind of gonna come back to his senses, but there was definitely a lot of cap. I saw a lot of cap, bro.
So yeah, motherfucker had a mega hat on his head, bro. Like, yo, that shit, dude. I was like, is he being serious or is this like one of those April Fool streams? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, at one point I just left, to be honest. I was like, okay, this is just like complete trash. Like,
you said you were going to get Swole Benji to help him out, man. Like, what happened?
Yeah, help who out?
I'm back, just so you know, Mojo. Sorry.
Negro, you said you were going to get Swole Benji to go and...
My favorite part is like, we're against renter, but like we rent, but the thing is we only rent on EU, so like on NA, when we fight the renters, like it doesn't match up. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And he was saying, and the only reason we rent is to make the money to fight the people who rent. I was like, what? But there was so much
we
cap.
only rent on NA or we only rent on EU timers. We don't rent on NA timers or something. I don't know, man. I was just like, what the fuck?
Dude said elevate #1 guild ever. All this shit. But he's so biased. But anyways, so this week we're gonna do a reaction video to that stream because Flacco didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the first like 20 minutes, I think, and then I went AFK for a while, and then I came back at the end. For me, it was like on and off. And Mamono didn't watch it, so I told him, "You want to watch it with us?" So we're gonna react to the whole thing with Mamono this week. So that's gonna be super entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know, man. That was cringe as shit, that interview, to be honest.
Yeah, so it's gonna be super entertaining. By the way, in a few minutes we're gonna do this giveaway here, !BlackBoa, and we're gonna give away Crystal Eagle. A Crystal Eagle. Do we know how much that's worth?
11 mil silver.
11 mil silver, boys. So free shit is free shit, boys.
If you have to wait a couple minutes after winning to get it, it's because I'm in an arena trolling healers with a bedrock mace and bop helm.
You're good, bro. Shout out to On the Tanks for keeping track. All that stuff. Yeah, by the way, thank you, Vaki, for anybody that wants to catch any missed interviews or any fun streams that we do. We're gonna put them on our YouTube channel. There, it's linked right there in the chat. That's up to you guys, boys. So back to Mr. Boa here. What the hell were we talking about, Boa?
Oh yeah, we're talking about consistency.
Consistency. Yeah. So, yeah, you were talking about building the right habits, right?
Yeah, building the right habits, and sometimes, like, because people want validation from outside sources, it's like it's good to put yourself into a tunnel so that you can then like block out any of the noise that might discourage you. Because when you're first starting out building the habit, like you may not see immediate success, and you might see success elsewhere, and that could discourage you potentially. So yeah, like that was another thing I was just trying to, embellish, is that sometimes it's best not to compare and actually just close the blinders, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what happens when you do compare? Like, when you compare a lot and you don't just focus on yourself, what happens? Like, if let's say you wake up and you start looking like, oh shit, these streamers beat me to the reset server reset timer, I'm gonna be behind now, or this guy is always ahead of me, this guy. What happens in that situation?
Well, I've basically put my health above viewership, right? Like if I wanted to compete on that level, I could, but I just said to myself, like, I'm really happy with the community that I've built and that we've been building, that I don't really want to compete on that level, right? Because yeah, streaming earlier is definitely going to get you like more viewers during the night and stuff. But yeah, so what would it do to somebody? Like basically you can get discouraged and say like, oh wow, I woke up too late, like it's not even worth streaming now, is it? Because I'm already too late, right? Like if that's the negative self-talk you have in your mind, you're not going to turn the button on. So you need to just focus on turning the button on. That's it. Don't worry about like somebody else. Don't worry about being late. Your community who wants to support you will be there. And that's honestly the way you got to look at it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think, bro, when you start looking at what this person's doing, what that person's doing, you get like fucking anxiety and shit. No.
Like I said, like it can make you feel that way at times. You can just think that oh shit, like I'm late, or oh it's gonna be a rough day, but you try not to just to have those thoughts creep in. You just kind of just say, you know what, stream, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I mean, definitely though. Like I bet you people think that way all the time. It's not a fun feeling. It's not a fun feeling comparing yourself and then feeling like, you know, you're not good enough because you know of a number. But at the end of the day, we're all good enough, regardless of what numbers we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about the what can we do to get you into the gym, bro?
What can we do to get me into the gym?
Yeah, because you're aging like wine, right? We don't want you out here aging like milk, bro. We got to get you back in the gym.
True. Well, I'm taking some steps already. Like all this is public. I always talk about depression and anxiety with my guild, so or with my stream and guild. But basically, I went to a specialist. I haven't been taking any medications for like 2 years, so everything that I'm dealing with, I've been dealing with it through just basically weed. Is the only drug, mind-altering drug that I'm using. But recently, I did go and get like a 4-hour analysis to ask me a bunch of questions, see if I had ADHD, see if I what kind of depression I might have. And they basically said I don't have ADHD, which I wish I did because Adderall is an amazing thing. But like, basically, like they said, you don't have ADD, but you're definitely depressed. And they're going to send those results over to my main doctor. And then I'm going to start going on meds again. So I'm taking the steps to eliminate the social anxiety, to like eliminate a few other things that are happening, and then hopefully then I'll be wanting to go outside more and do more things. But right now I only go out like if I absolutely need to. Like I don't go out for fun or anything.
Gotcha.
Have you done Adderall before?
I have. When I was in college, I did it, and then mainly for studying. And then prior to the 2 years that I just spoke of, I actually was prescribed other stuff, which is basically Adderall. It was called Vyvanse and Focalin. Those are like pretty heavy ADD medications. So like one doctor says I had it. I didn't have to go through any tests. She just asked me 5 questions and gave it to me, right? If you want to get drugs, you can get drugs. But this time I really wanted to know for sure, like, do I really have it or not? And like all the tests she was making me go through, like it was memorization tests. I was repeating back like a series of numbers after she spoke it, and then I had to recite back the exact order, like after she said 10 numbers. That shit was hard. That shit was hard. But like basically they said, no way do you have ADD. You're actually scoring above average from a cognitive perspective. But then you ask questions about what's your outlook on life type deal, and then they're like, yeah, you're definitely depressed. So
you meds, but here
you came for the ADD, we're giving you Prozac most likely.
Like what kind of question? Like were they asking you? What, do you like pizza? And then you were answering like, no, it's just a big circle, a big black hole of nothing.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Was it like that?
It
Where
wasn't
you
like
just-
that. It was like a checklist of questions, and then it said, from they gave it a number from 1 to 5. Like, do you disagree or strongly disagree or strongly agree? And like you'd go through the series of questions, and like you would just answer it the way you were feeling at that moment. I'm trying to think like what some of them were. They're pretty sad questions because like you would want to answer them differently, but I found myself answering truthfully and I was answering pretty sadly. Like, do you have trust in people? Disagree. Like that, like shit like that.
Mine would be better if I could punch everybody in the face for no reason. 1 to 10. Yeah.
Yeah, like basically all that shit.
So is depression real? Is depression real?
Is depression like?
Is
people
depression
depressed
real?
Yeah,
of course.
it is. Okay,
Depression
gotcha.
depression is real, for sure.
What do you think?
And
People kill
unless you and unless you like have been through it, it's very hard to articulate, because everything else, your body is fine, right? You could go out and get a job, or you can go out and like technically go out and do things, but like you just don't have a desire. Like my biggest depressing thought, and I don't know if you want to go here or not, because I don't want to make anyone feel depressed or anything, but
No,
you
go
know,
ahead. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, my biggest depressing thought is like, especially when you're someone who operates on passion. Like, I feel like I'm a passionate guy, but like when you don't have a passion and you don't have purpose, then the only recurring thought that keeps coming is, what's the point? And then you apply that to everything. What's the point of streaming? What's the point of waking up today? What's the point of taking a shower today? What's the point of this? I mean, it could spiral to like, what's the point of life? You know what I mean? And
Gotcha.
so like that shit hurts. Like when you start asking yourself that question. Now, I don't ask myself that question anymore, but there was a time when I did. And
Gotcha.
so like, it's pretty scary when you get to that point.
I mean, it's cool you talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's admirable. I mean, who knows if somebody else out there is struggling and, they hear you talk about it and they're like, okay, I feel a little bit better now. I'm not alone.
Right. Exactly. So, some people can just not get by unless like they have medications. And so I've been getting by, but I think I'm doing this more so for my family rather than like wanting to be on the meds, because when you go on those meds, like you feel like a zombie sometimes. At least that's what I've always felt whenever I've been on something. And so I'm hoping that I could find like a good mixture this time around, because every single other time, like my creativity was just gone. I was like a zombie on just happy pills. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor, but I've tried kava for when I get like down, and that shit has worked wonders for me.
Oh my god, I hate that shit, bro. It tastes so
What is
nasty.
it? Kava? What is
that
it?
Kava
shit,
root?
bro? Yeah, kava root tastes like shit, but man, it works. It's a huge pick me up. Very
Bro,
quick.
I remember the first time I had that, my friend, I was in Miami, he's like, bro, you gotta try this shit out, man. It's better than weed. Like, you're gonna get high as shit. I was like, wait, what? On a bar? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll try it out. Dude, I remember drinking that, and I was like, bro, this shit tastes like shit. How do
No,
people
it tastes
come and buy this?
horrible, but I mean,
Listen.
it's disgusting.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
And then
What's
I
it
got
called?
up. When I got up from the bar, dude, when I came into the bar, the first thing I thought, I was like, why do they have a couch in the back of the seats? It makes no sense.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
need that
figured
shit.
out why they have a fucking couch, bro. I got up and I instantly felt like just face into the fucking couch. I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck? I can't
kava's
even move
powerful
right
shit.
now.
They call it Nature Xanax. It's
Bro.
strong stuff.
That is the strongest shit I ever taken, to be honest. It
Shit
was actually
shit
crazy.
sounds hella good. What's it called? Let me write that shit down.
Kava, Kava. It's this Polynesian root, man.
Cool.
This stuff, you'll go
Bro.
from being super upset to being like, somebody will be like, yo, go fight that lawnmower with your dick. You're like, okay, no problem.
Dude, for me, it was like, I'm very hyper. So for me, it was like, I took a sedative, like I literally just fell asleep on it. Boom, knocked out instantly. I was like, what the fuck? So maybe it's like weed. It has different effects on different people,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was definitely, never did it again. That was very weird. Didn't like it.
Bro, I mean, I listen, I've never been actually depressed. I've been sad, in a depressed state, but I've never actually been.
That's the thing, though.
depressed.
You don't really know if you're depressed, though. You know, some people don't know. You might have some fucked up depression, and you don't even know you have it.
Let me ask you a question, Mojo. Like, were there times when you were actively playing Albion and stuff? Like how many hours a day would you play Albion? Like, were you playing like at your peak?
Probably about 16.
16. So you don't think you were depressed? You were just like a completely happy person playing 16 hours a day of a game?
No, definitely not.
I was worried about him.
You don't think so?
For a while when he was an Arch.
No, I think I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you, Bo. I definitely wasn't happy. A happy person wouldn't play that much.
100%.
Yeah, if you were drinking and stuff, or if you're playing that much, you're honestly like basically living your life in a game instead of living your life in life.
100%.
So there's something there. There's something there, you know. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe someone is absolutely 100% happy with their life playing 16 hours a day. I'm not trying to like.
No, that's impossible.
Say everybody. Say everybody is, you know. But you would think that wouldn't be good because society will say that that's not good. From society standards, someone would say you have a problem, and like, you know. But I guess. I guess I don't know how to. The key thing is how do you turn that into a positive experience? And I think at least you're doing that, and which is the same thought I had. If I'm addicted to gaming, which I am, how can I make it into a positive experience? Stream, right? Stream and play with other people. Like we both are doing that. We're both doing that, right? So there's that.
He's not doing much of the playing, though. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. No, exactly. The playing's not there, but yeah. Actually, let me ask you, Mojo. Like, are you happier after not being able to play Albion? Like, are you a happier person?
1,000%, bro.
See?
I mean,
So,
right now, bro.
is-
Right now,
yeah.
I got a very olive skin now. I'm not pale
Oh, there
anymore.
you go.
Bro, and the sun definitely makes a big difference. I work out every single day, and bro, I honestly think, because I was working out before Albion, and then at some point on Albion I stopped, and that was around the time that you could call it like some depressing times and shit like that for me. I was drinking a lot,
Right.
so I kind of let go. And then about 2 years ago, I started gym again, and I haven't had one depressive day since, at all. It was just it was just, I think, you know, working out completely changes everything. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On the Tank said something really good too. I see. He says, "How are other people going to tell you what makes you happy?" Never understood that. I don't understand neither, but it happens constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's people
professional.
saying it or whether it's commercials on TV saying it, like it's everywhere, dude. People are telling you how to be happy. It's a big business.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's why I had to ask. I was like, yo, so is depression real? Because, for example, if you guys experienced it to that extent, then I 100% agree with you and believe you. So, but I was just asking because there's a lot of people out here that kind of, they're like pretend depressed. You know what I'm saying?
There can be that piece of it, sure. But to let yourself go to that point and pretend means you've kind of given up on life anyways, right? If you would rather pretend to be depressed. Yeah, right? Like if you're pretending to be depressed, you've kind of given up already. You're like, I'd rather just take this road, you know? So yeah, I would say there's a problem with them. Like, I don't think you can actually pretend to the point of making your life worse.
Yeah.
You know, just like,
no, but I mean pretend like, I didn't mean pretend like they kind of play the victim. They use it as an excuse. I'm talking about the ones that, specifically the ones that use it as an excuse to not do other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, but that could also be a symptom, though, right? Like if you'd rather play Albion than go somewhere else. I'm not saying that is always the wrong choice, but like if you're like beginning to give up social interaction in the real world because you always want to be there for that CTA, I would say that that's a problem, right? Like
Fucking love those
CTAs are
CTAs,
mandatory.
bro.
So like
Hell
these people
yeah.
are literally like having their cycle dictated by a game. Like, and I know
my
like
God,
I know a
Whoever
lot
was
of
the most
people.
depressed guild in the game.
Yeah. Like whoever has to go like to CTAs constantly and they have to work their life schedule around that. Like, holy shit, bro, that's brutal. Like you're literally like, and again, if you get more enjoyment out of that than actually doing things IRL, then that's your choice to make. That's why I'm not saying it's not a blanket statement for everyone, but like, you know, I'm sure there's some times where people are definitely in that situation where they're kind of like feeling hopeless because if they don't show up, then they won't have fun anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a deeper problem then, if that's the case? I mean, I think it's more the symptom rather than the cause.
Yeah. No, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I've noticed is, you know, with people that you know, since we brought up the subject, people that suffer from depression, a lot of times they're not aware of the things they tell themselves inside. So they'll like have this, you know, running narrative in the back of their mind of I'm fucked up, I'm messed up, I'm depressed. They tell themselves so much that they forget to actually live. Like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
and basically I'm talking about myself in a lot of ways here. So like, you know, I'm kind of basically just looking at my life and like telling you what I've done, like basically. So not the pretending part of it, but like, yeah, when you're depressed, you literally just don't go out. You don't have an urge to go out. You don't want to socialize. You know, you just have a very negative self-image. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I was living in the U.S. right now, I would get depressed instantly, bro. With Joe Biden, I would look at Joe Biden one time. I'd be like, oh my god.
Oh, here we go.
I'd be like, oh my god.
I don't want to get into politics because
it's okay. We don't have to.
Because already we're on opposing sides.
I would say one thing politically, that Donald Trump's press conferences during the COVID quarantine were comedic gold, and they kept my mood much higher than anything else.
Yeah.
We don't call that here. We don't call it here. We call it the pandemic. You gotta call it the pandemic for YouTube purposes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I didn't know. Sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, we definitely don't have to get into politics. But that Joe Biden, man, I'm not American, right? But if I was in America right now, I'd be crying my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So I don't know if we want to do a giveaway. We got just a couple more questions, Mr. Ball. We got a couple more questions, bro.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
So thank you so far for giving us your time, bro. So shout out to you.
If you're doing a giveaway, can I do a quick pee break really quick?
Of course.
Oh yeah, I'll literally be right back.
Go for it. So yeah, Boa's gonna go pee. When he comes back, Seed has actually left. I don't think he's gonna come back in time. So we might have to postpone the battle. But we're definitely gonna get Boa to rap for us. That's for sure. We're definitely gonna get Boa to rap for us.
Wait, did he pussy out? What happened?
I think he has to. He had to go to the studio to finish up his song.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Let's give away the Crystal Eagle real quick. 11 mil. So last chance to get in, boys. ! BlackBoa! ! BlackBoa! By the way, is there any questions that you guys want to ask Boa, either to the chat or Flacco or Jason? Any questions before we get to the rapping part? In case, so I don't forget. Do you understand?
Not really, man. To be honest, like
we covered a lot, right?
Yeah. He's not like, one of those people that are super controversial. They got, drama and dating problems and all this shit, So
that's facts.
Not a lot. It's more of a chill stream,
Yeah, 100%.
Yo, talking about dating and stuff, bro. That show, bro.
What does that have to do with dating?
I know, it was just random.
That has nothing to do with either, bro.
That show, though, bro. Listen, I saw the first 15 minutes of the show, and I told my girl, shut up, I'll see you in 8 hours. Like, yo, I watched the entire show, dude.
I think I'm on
Dude,
episode
the first
5.
3 episodes, they completely fuck with your head. Like, you never wait, what?
Yeah, I think I'm on episode 5.
Oh my god!
You finished
bro.
it already?
Yeah, I told you, I 8 hours straight, like nonstop. Like I watched the whole show for fucking 8 hours. I couldn't stop watching it.
Damn, bro. Is it good payoff at the end or no? Is it good?
Yeah. The thing is, bro, like, it kind of sucks for me because I seen already so many shows that I kind of know how the shows are gonna end by episode like 3, right?
Gotcha.
So I kind of knew like what was gonna happen, but like I was in denial, and then it happened, and then I was like, "Fuck, bro."
We're talking about terminal list, chat. Terminal list.
But listen, bro, it's good, man. It's fucking good. Like, that guy's built different, you know?
Yeah, I like him. I usually don't like Chris Pratt in other movies. Like, usually he does corny movies, but in this one he was a G. I like him.
Dude, he was really, really, really good. He was really, really, really good in that show. Have you seen what's the name of that other show on Amazon, man? That is kind of like that, and it's really, really, really good. Let me go look real quick.
Welcome back, Mr. Bo. Welcome back, bro.
Oh, thank you, my man. Thank you.
I saw on the tanks. I asked, who is your biggest enemy in game? Tell me about Rask. For anybody who doesn't know who Rask is, that little rascal. Who is Rask? Can you tell us about him?
I don't really know much about him. I just know he was an echo of silence, and since day one, he just loved to fucking, like, you know, pick on me, stream snipe, all those sort of things. Let me give a little bit of. I will say this. I see the other side of it, because prior to streaming, I don't know if you knew KingMoJo, but do you remember that I would do like these global chat news flashes?
No.
Like I would say, breaking news. Due
You're
to
such
lack
a role
of
player,
talented.
dude.
Yeah.
Such
Like I
a
would
role
say it in
player,
global
dude.
chat. I would say it in global chat. I would say, breaking news: due to lack of skilled players, EOS is disbanding. And I would just like spam that like constantly, like to the point where like you would think I'd be autistic. Like why is this guy spamming it so much? You know, I was like just constantly like spamming nonsense to them, and this was before I started streaming. So let's just say that I probably deserved part of what happened to me with that guild. Like after I started streaming, because I was kind of like, we were kind of enemies back then. So
You were roasting them all the time, and then when you started streaming, they're like, "Oh, it's perfect."
yeah. I roasted them constantly, and then I got fucked. You know, like, so, you know, it was constant, and so yeah, it was fun though. It was, everyone was laughing at that shit. So.
By the way, shout out to Chandraka, Jason. I posted the in-game name in the chat. If you can give her the thank you, brother. So what did Rask do to you, Boa?
I mean, like, just constantly stream snipe basically, and I don't remember exactly what he did. I don't know if he was one of the ones who was spamming the N-word. I wouldn't put it past him though.
He 100% was. I still talk to him, by the way. He hasn't changed at all. He's completely autistic.
Yeah, no, trust me. And then another game I was playing, like completely different from Albion. Me being a Discord noob, like I didn't have any security in place, so like he just randomly joined the Discord one time, and then all of a sudden it was just like spamming the N-word, like this song or something kept playing during my stream. So like he continues to like follow me to other games as well. So.
Yeah, he played with us.
Unfortunate.
He returned in season 13 and he played with us. So did like Waded and a couple other people, Killer Queen, Beardoff, Arnstein, a few people that you know. So we had a few people come back in season 13. Rask was one of them, and he was our best weapon. We would just unleash him on the enemy. The dude would spend 24 hours a day talking shit. You know, he would talk to shit to them on their Discords and everything. So he hasn't changed at all, bro.
Yeah, it's tough. It was tough, but you know, he did make me have better Discord security. I'm sure he could breach it if he wanted to, but you know, at least that was one positive for him.
Yeah.
Is that Trout Gang Rask or what?
Yeah.
Bro,
he's built different. He's built different.
Dude, listen, this dude hyped his guild in New World, Trout Gang. we had mad people in the guild, dude. Like 2 days before game release, they disbanded the guild. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he disbanded on the day before, right? What a fucking scumbag.
Yeah. That shit was funny as shit.
Boa, what about we were thinking about doing like an e-dating show, you know, because we saw Flaccid Baron, he did like a Jeopardy, you know, so we were thinking about like games like that, Family Feud, some e-dating contest where I think me and you have spoken about this before, Boa.
Possibly. Yeah.
Remember, we've had a conversation that it would be cool to have like a contest where it's like there's like one dude.
What about a talent show? You could do a talent show if you wanted to.
Yeah, talent show.
Albions Got Talent, right? Something like that.
Albions Got Talent. You know.
Yo, that'd be dope as shit, dude. To be honest.
Would you be interested?
Tab.
Would you be interested in participating in something like that or no?
Yeah, sure. I mean, assuming, pretty much. I would. I mean, I would love to hear about it, and yes, I would probably participate. Yep.
Yeah, like if we had like a bunch of streamers and well-known people, and keep it, you know, respectful, and everybody can stream it.
Yeah. As long as all that's in play, then yeah, sure. I'd love to.
Oh, a limit to like singing and comedy. Like you can only do so many things through online, you know.
Yeah. Well, what if they show a talent in game? Like, what if they do synchronized movements in Albion? You know what I mean? Like roleplay shit. There's a whole different world out there, baby. You could. I literally spoke to my guild and said we need to come up with some sort of synchronized shit the other day because I think it'd be hilarious.
Listen. We will try to do that almost on every reset, bro. We'll give people their like set items, and then we'll be like, "All right, guys, everybody try to do it at the same time. 3, 2, 1," and then we'll do like a bunch of.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
To be honest,
it'd be awesome if people would actually get good at it, like synchronized Albion movements or synchronized ZVZ or whatever. I don't know. It'd be pretty fun.
WoW shit though. People used to do that in WoW, bro. People were dedicated back then. In WoW, people would do that. 20 people like dancing at the same time, and they'll make like videos and everything, music videos. It was crazy.
So why not an Albion, right? Like we could do that shit.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable. You just need the right, like, you know, people.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, we'll come up with some shit, and then we'll throw some ideas. We'll bounce some ideas off you, and then you give us your opinion, and then you know, we'll talk to the right people to make it happen.
That sounds good.
But yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. The couple questions we usually ask everybody, right? This is the main question right here. Number one, Basid is no longer here. He had to run. I think he was scared of losing to you in the rap battle.
So do I, definitely.
Yeah. So, but it's okay. He'll be back with some fire. But
do you still want to do the rap today, or would you rather just postpone it until he's available?
It's completely up to you. If you feel like freestyling for a bit, then you can freestyle for a bit, warm up.
Okay, yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah, I could freestyle for a bit if the chat wants to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to sing your favorite Disney song, you can sing your favorite Disney song. We did a couple karaoke sessions.
I can show you the world.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So it's completely up to you what you want to do. And then we'll do the rap battle head to head another day.
That sounds good. Yeah. We could do a freestyle at the end for people. Yeah.
Sounds good. So me and Sid always have this debate, right? It's not even close for me, but a lot of people think it's close. So Gladiator or Troy?
Gladiator or Troy? Interesting. I honestly don't remember much of Troy, except I do remember a line from Brad Pitt. He was like he played the who was that main who was the main guy?
Achilles.
Achilles. I think he was Achilles, right? So I think it was early in the movie where there was this like little scared soldier like hiding somewhere, and then he goes up to him and says, "And this is why you will never be remembered."
It was the kid that came to get him to wake him up when he's like, I wouldn't want to fight that guy. He's like, that's why no one will remember your name.
I remember.
Yeah.
In the tent.
I remember that because it was profound for me for some reason. I felt like, be bold was the message there. But I gotta say Gladiator. Even though I remember that line, Gladiator is better for me.
Okay. What about this? 300 or Gladiator?
Oh, now you're bringing my cultural background into it. 300, without a doubt. Even
Really?
without the cultural
Okay.
background.
Oh yeah,
300.
because they're Greek. Yeah, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Even without it, though, I mean, I would still go 300.
I mean,
Actually, I
bro,
forgot about 300. I might put that in my top 5, honestly. I don't know. 300 versus
300.
Gladiator.
That's a good
300,
one. That's a good
300
one.
versus Gladiator. I might even, now that I remember it, I don't know, man. It might make Gladiator have a run for its money.
It's different style, but I understand if
Yes,
people
there's
put that
not.
in front of Gladiator for the pop
Yeah.
culture scenes and shit like that.
I mean, that movie was epic as shit, bro. You know, like when that came out, man, like people were going crazy.
I remember I was in college when that came out, and I remember getting so fucking shit faced, and I literally would go to every bar like saying Spartans drink. Like I was just like I was so hammered, like just like running around, and literally everyone thought it was hilarious because everyone had saw the movie, and I was like the one like drunk crazy guy just like talking like, you know, like talking like the movie and shit, and everyone just got hammered that night. It was great.
Yeah, I like that one too. You're a Mel Gibson fan, obviously, because
Yep.
your favorite movie is Braveheart.
I'm not a fan of his like personal beliefs, but his acting career, 100%. Like I think he's one of the best actors.
What about the movie The Patriot? Braveheart or The Patriot?
Braveheart, 100%.
Okay, I like Patriot too, though.
I will say this: like watching Braveheart, even to this day, there's like 2 or 3 scenes that I can't help but tear up. Like that movie just gets to me, like in the right spots. You know, you just feel the pain or the love or the whatever. You know.
Yeah, when he's getting tortured at the end. And he's just, man. He just goes out like
that's a tearjerker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a major tearjerker.
So if you read the story about what they actually did to him, man, that is some dirty business.
Yeah.
Like it's
What they do to him?
Story.
What they do to him?
Bro, I don't even think I should say it on Twitch, but they tortured and executed the guy pretty badly.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can Google it, but man, let me put it this way. It was definitely against the Geneva Conventions. You know?
What about Saving Private Ryan or Forrest Gump? Which Tom Hanks movie?
Forrest Gump for me.
Okay.
Like Forrest Gump was another one where you could watch it to this day and it'll bring your emotions everywhere.
Yeah. You want to talk about the tearjerker?
tough.
I was watching it the other day. The scene where he goes in to get Bubba out of the tree line. He ends up pulling everybody out. I was like, this movie is one of the most underrated movies ever, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing movie. I love it. Yeah.
What about
Life is like a box of chocolates.
what about American Gangster or Training Day? Or Man on Fire? You gotta pick one.
American Gangster, Training Day, or Man. Wait, can you
3
tell me,
Denzel movies.
That's a Denzel movie.
All 3 are Denzel movies. Or The Equalizer.
The Equalizer.
Or The Equalizer.
Was 100 times better than all of those, man.
Stop.
I thought Training Day was the best one out of all of them. Even better than Equalizer.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, people have
the
mixed
Home
opinions.
Depot scene where he's like, "Okay, I'm here waiting for you," and he turns off the lights. I got goosebumps, bro. That movie's awesome.
Yeah, I like the first one. The second one was okay.
Yeah.
What is that last scene where he gets betrayed in Training Day? He's like, "You gonna fight me?" Or I don't know. There's a scene there at the end where
when he goes into like the little like side street community, and he's like, "You're gonna take my money, whatever."
Yeah, something about Pelican Bay, right?
Yeah.
He says something about Pelican Bay. Yeah.
There was something there where he just does an epic speech, and it was very memorable. He kind of realizes like people are turning on him, but like he's still trying to like hold on to the image that he once had. Or something.
And last question for you: if you can meet, we ask everybody this every single week. If you can meet anybody from all of history in real life, whether they're dead or alive, who would they be?
You get
3
one
people.
choice basically.
Three choices.
3 choices. So I'd have to go back to the highest highs of Greece, and I guess that would have to be Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great would have to be one of the guys I definitely meet.
That's a beautiful pick. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else here. Trying to think. Would it be bad if I choose more Greeks? Because
No, you can pick whoever you want. It don't matter.
When I was growing up, I was very into a lot of the Greek culture and stuff. I've since lost a lot of my energy. Yeah, I mean, well, actually, you know what? Here's another one. Jesus. If Jesus did indeed exist, that is, Jesus would be another one. I'd like to meet him. That'd be pretty cool.
The greatest magician of all time. I would like to meet him too.
Yeah. So Jesus.
I mean, I don't think there's is there a debate?
Um,
Is there actually a debate that Jesus didn't exist? I don't think there's a debate about that, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. I mean,
It's fake news.
There is. Of course there is, bro.
I think there's a debate.
No, I don't think so.
There probably
There is. There definitely is.
Really?
Well, I mean, like, does the Islamic religion recognize a person
Yeah,
named
of course,
Jesus?
Isa. Yeah, they refer to him as one of the major people in the
it's
Quran.
Isa.
Isa,
Okay.
yeah.
The
Gotcha.
Jews do, the Muslims do. He's on
Okay.
all the
So,
books.
So yeah, Jesus, Alexander the Great, and then who else would I want to meet? You know what? I'd want to meet Eve from Adam and Eve.
Okay.
I want to be the first one to inseminate her, and maybe all be related to me, dude.
Be the father of mankind. The father of
Take her on a
mankind.
date, dude. We'll go with
that's
Eve.
about to hit you.
And you know what? She'll be bitten by my snake.
I like that shit, bro. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I think you're the first person that put a woman in the top 3. In their top 3.
Yeah, buddy.
Reasons though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to BlackBoa for equality.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it. We pretty much went through everything from your beginning to a lot about. We discovered a lot about your real life, the difference in jobs you had and stuff like that. You suffered some real life shit, and you're going hard right now on streaming. So you're going for 365 days in a row. You're gonna reach it, no doubt about it, because it seems like you have so much momentum, So, I mean, we definitely just wish you nothing but the best, Boa, because I know you for a long time, super long time. I know you for a super long time, but even the people that know you for less time, they all got hella love for you. So everybody loves you,
thanks.
bro. Everybody loves you, bro.
Thank you for having me here. Honestly, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I'll even be like, again, I'm brutally honest. I was actually scared to come on for a little bit.
Why?
But,
Why?
I don't know. I didn't know what kind of questions you were gonna ask. Like,
What you think I was gonna ask? What you think I was gonna ask?
No, like nothing like that. But just I didn't think anything really. But I didn't know if you were how deep you were gonna go into stream sniping or other things. Like
Listen, we keep it respectful, like
yeah. That like there were just some other things that were that happened. I mean, I don't think you remember them, but it's all good.
We'll talk about behind the scenes, because if I remembered, I probably would have asked you about it. So
Right.
but I'll ask you right after this. We're gonna raid the homie Jack. So yeah. Anything else that you wanna say to people, Boa?
No. Basically, I just want to say thanks for having me. Mojo, I don't know if you're trying to get your ban reversed and to come back to Albion, but it'd be nice if one day that could happen. Do you have an update on that? Like, are you trying? Are you in contact with anyone, or do you want to come back? Like, are you trying to come back to Albion?
We'll see. I mean, it's almost a year now, so I think after the year, like when it hits a year, I might talk to them. We'll see what happens, No rush, to be honest, because life is okay right now. I'm happy with it. So
Cool.
Yeah, but if I do come back, bro, you gotta spend 1 week in Blue Army on an alt.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that.
Alright.
By the way, when you're watching here, we're getting wiped pretty hard. This is freaking faction warfare. Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
But
So
that's all I had to say. Thank you.
yeah, thank you too, bro. So thanks for everybody watching the stream. Yo, shout out to Seed, shout out to Flaco, shout out to Jason. Love these guys. If it wasn't for these guys, I would probably have a very boring stream without these guys. So I appreciate these motherfuckers supporting me, you know, and everybody who stayed until the end. We appreciate that too. So we're gonna raid Jack real quick because that's our homie, and that's it for us.
All right, Mojo. See you guys.